Amex, blue, Canada, again, 16, NASDAQ. Yo, what's up? Someone went and got their hair and teeth fixed and traded over there in Turkey. So shout out to that one. 11.5 in the Turkish market as well. So, you know, go get your stuff tight and right over there in Turkey. Someone made 11.5 over there while getting those implants. So congratulations to that one. I should have joined you a few years ago myself right there. But Palantir upside, SpaceX downside, Intel $5. Man, if you can't tell we're having a good time, we are. It's Trader TV Live. So, you know, Betty, ready for the midday show.
Absolutely. You know what, though? You might not care that it was 2 days ago, but I'll show you why you should care. This is about, I saw this 2 days ago when we were looking at Blue Ocean. SK Hynix, first day trading on Blue Ocean here at Real Trading. It bounced at not $150.25, not at $149.80. It bounced twice at $150.00, right off of the even dollar level and went straight up. So I don't think it's a guess. They're trading this, and that's all they're doing. Someone's just taking the long off an obvious level. It holds, it goes. 10% move off of the lows. Someone takes that trade one time, and maybe that's how they made their profit.
Maybe. More than one people.
Well, so I'm saying multiple people. You got to believe that's where it's going to be because it's memory, and more memory chip names. I don't know if there's any small cappers in the memory space. There aren't. But there's certainly some movers. Sharif will have those. Joey options, maybe he's into that IBIT long because Bitcoin is looking pretty strong today. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. You guys will find out now.
This is in the north right now. Boom, 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 boom.
Who does this one, Sharif?
Oh.
No, it's Jude, man. Come on.
Oh, Jude. Yeah. He better show up today, bro.
He better show up in the house.
He better show up today.
Before you do your shut up, man, the only question I had is why did I get the turkey shout out, though?
You got the turkey shout out?
Bro,
no, I think he just said anybody go get your stuff
I'm
tight,
playing,
right?
man. You know we're playing around, man.
Oh, Katina Man's gonna come in. You want?
We'll wait.
Hold on.
I don't like Joe. I don't know why you're getting caught in your feelings over there, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you still have more hair than me, and it was not everything's about you there, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, bro, you're Katina Man.
Literally roll it back because you're like, Joe, turkey. Someone over there.
I didn't hear Joe, bro. I didn't hear Joe.
You're rolling it back.
No way, no crazy. But Joe, if you are going, man, let me know. We can.
Obviously
for one.
Boys trip
over there. Boys trip into that one. So we'll shout you out, Joe. But yeah, congratulations, big day over there for you. And I could still keep talking. I mean, my stocks are going crazy here, but we're going to go back over to the midday. It's 11:03 in Sharif. Those pictures that you just showed, maybe you can even show your phone.
Yeah, I really should, Katina Man.
We're going back to the midday.
Shit. Yeah. Here it is.
Start it over, man.
Let's do it one more time.
Yeah, hit it.
Let's get it one more time. There we go. Boom. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. That's your boy, Joey Options. I'm Sharif. Let's say hello to everybody. Will Gold. We got Omahawks, Rex Banner, John Cutler. We got Sasquatch Analyst. Muffins, 2 New York cents. We got Juan. We got Trade Sniper. Shout out to StockEd, 983. Purple Drank. Oh, that's sorts of Chappelle show right there, man. Come on now. Wise Investor. Shout out to my man. Who's that?
Who is that?
Bottle my beer. Hold my beer. My bad. I grew up fighting. My PD Rider. We got the All Class Jacques. We got Jaguar Nut and Randy Worm. Shout out to Danny Patel and Eric Kaufman. How about Slow Motion for me? Bronze Hands. As opposed to diamond hands. I don't mind that. Green.
That's crazy.
Oh, come on, man. I love bogging, man. Green Saber. We got Daryl Finch. How about Dean Allen, Psyops, Lemon Family, Customer ATH, and shout out to Chucky. Kirk D, let's go. We got Edgar. We got, who else, man? B, Cameron, Dean Allen, your owner. Somebody owns us. Orange Drink Better, he says. That's crazy. You'd be banned from watching Chappelle's show. This is Joe's going to tell you guys something in a second, but Tiffany, if I can, I do want to show this over here. This is Northern Ontario. That is not a filter. That is real life. It is actually orange like that. Gives you an idea of what we're dealing with out there. It's not as orange, but Joey.
Yeah.
You have something to tell me?
Yeah. VinFast continues to expand. There we go. VinFast continues to expand beyond vehicle sales. This week, VinFast India partnered with Shriram Finance to support EV financing access, while Green SM launched all-electric ride-hailing in Kazakhstan with VinFast VF6 vehicles. Together, these moves highlight VinFast's broader mobility ecosystem. You can find them on the NASDAQ under ticker VFS. There it is, though, man. Oh, before we send it back over to you, Sharif, we got to do our boy. You know we have to do our boy a solid. We're going to haul out some people from TikTok. I like this, though. You do YouTube, I'll run TikTok. That's how it. So we have Disato, Languina, Armagado. What's up, everybody? Entrepreneur, Christian O'Toole, Art, Mr. Jones, Ronnie, Tejada, Frog, Bravely. We have Mr. Logical, Nathan, Steve, Patrick. We have Sasha, user 1871. Oh, 18. Ooh, okay, we're not going to read it. T-Rock, yo, T-Rock, we like that. J-Rock, shout out to him. Nicole, what's going on? Pitch TV. Anna B, Urban Fight, we like that. Rich Boy Trades, and one more. We have Guy 1. What's up, everyone? And Lex in the chat.
Dr. Jones, calling Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, pick up now. You know that one?
No.
Oh, come on, man. I got to go on the main show, bro.
Go on the main show.
Killing me over here, man. Yeah, because we were in the same age, man. I know you know that song. Joey, no, he doesn't look. Wow, Katina, man.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable Katina, man. I love this guy, bro.
That's crazy.
Sorry, guys. All right, man. Guys, there's a lot moving, so let's cut the crap and get right down to work. There goes JLHL through the $0.50, or did it? No, sorry, correction, 49. There it goes into 70. The breakout is on. We have limit up at 11.97. We're showing 80s. We're showing 83, 85. Watch out here, $12-ish limit up on JLHL. It is absolutely ripping up. 11.97 limit up now. It's moved up. It's up 50% or thereabouts. I'll submit to you, the breakout just started happening right above that $10 area. We took out the pre-market high at 7:30, which was, I believe, 10 3/4. So JLHL needs to be in focus for you if you are the of the small cap gapper incline. Let's go with that. 12.17 limit up now. It keeps moving up, of course, as the price action develops. But as people were telling me in the chat, CPH frickin' I. This one is a bit of trouble. Why? Because it's halted, right? And then it trades on the Amex. That means we'll have no idea what the theoretical auction price is during the halt. So we have to fly blind. I typically don't like that because all of a sudden, you know, the tap, you know, behind the scenes could be dipping and you have no idea about it. And then we gap down, I don't know, 30, 40%, who knows, right? So CPHI trading on the Amex, halted at $1.28. We're not going to know the tap. About 5.7 million shares traded so far. Halt time, 11:05:19. Earliest open will be 11:10:19. Of course, we come in waves of 5. So we're going to keep an eye. I think these two are the best of the bunch. There's obviously others, so let's mosey on over and bring in the side charts over here. You'll see, you'll see a couple of non-small cap gappers on there, and that's not really my choosing. It is what the market dictates, Joseph Options. SNDQ, obviously, that is an SNDK ETF. It's an inverse leverage, so it's minus 200%. So as SNDK goes, SNDQ will do the opposite. LCID, of course, not a small cap gapper either, even though it got really close yesterday. Almost lost $1 billion valuation. Today it's back up to $2 billion, ramping up into that 5.5% area. So guys, we have recovered the entire sell-off from yesterday before the big move down that we reported to you live on this show at 12:45. We were trading at around 5.5. Well, take a look where we're at right now. 554 high with 547, pardon me, the current price. So LCID really recovering here, both in the aftermarket and, during this trading day. DAMD, light mover, man. I mean, we're talking about 9.4%. I'll probably try to stay away from this if I can. MUZ for my American friends out there, trading well. I mean, it's up 14 and change. It's not rocketing up, but it is respectful of trend. Seems to have a buyer at 14.40 for whatever reason. And then last but not least, OI. Right, this one bled its own blood yesterday from the pre-market 940 when all was said and done. At the lows, we got to 830. We're recovering about the median so far. Looks like we're straddling 9. Looks like we're having trouble decisively taking 9 on OI, but we'll see how this cookie crumbles. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Glass half full, Joey, SHSKHY analysis, please. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much,
Open.
Glass. Thank you very much. You want to
CPHI open. That's all I want to say.
All right. Let's see what's going on with that one there. Yeah, glass half full. Shout out to Chris Love. I know you're in the chat every day. Thank you. You know we got much love for you on these neck of the woods, and everyone else in the chat are regular, new, doesn't matter. So yeah, all right, guys, let's head over to SK Hynix. Gorev Los Pollos, a couple of nice prints across the board here. But first things first, we're gonna attend to what we see on SK Hynix. We're gonna do a little bit of a higher time frame analysis on this one. Oh, with that being said, you head over to the Kospi. But let's do something that's probably identical, all right? So it may not be the specific underlying, but what's holding up, and I think some of the other guys were pointing this out bright and early this morning as well, too, is just the fact that the American, now that you have this in the ADR, the American markets are going to be able to hold it up a little bit more. Well, Joe, that doesn't make sense. SanDisk is selling off. Yeah, well, eventually what goes up, as Sean said this morning, must come down. Now, to what extent is the question, right? That has to be the following question, and where we're going to look for those potential lows. But this is what happens. I've been saying this since the get on this insane run, that watch out for that backside of the move. Now, if you were up here buying SanDisk at $2,300, well, congratulations. Even though I hate seeing this, guys, and it's not congratulations, I'm obviously being sarcastic, you're now down 34%. But like for me personally, and I've been talking about it quite often, is just be patient, and wait for that second run, okay? I do believe that there's gonna be that opportunity. So we're gonna allow this stock to even fall to 40% downside. Right, that sounds crazy. Can it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? We have no idea. Only time will tell, all right? So same thing with SK Hynix. Allow these things to cool off, because when you have an overall index that's moving 300% in the span of a year, there's probably going to be something dangerous on the backside. Dan Baca and I were talking in the chat yesterday.
Get it, Dan.
And he's been trading for a long time. Sorry, Dawn.
Many moons.
Yeah, Dawn, for very, very many moons. And he's like, man, I can't wait to play the backside via some options here, some index options. I'm like, the exact same thing. Too much concentration risk. Now, there's a time and a place for everything. We'll get into that later, but just be prepared for a little bit more deeper of a pullback. Now, let's get into our spiel on our trades here today. Okay. All right? So there we go. Nice PLTR, $2 ITM. Gorev, there was a couple of breakouts and opportunities that we missed. Tesla 1 minute time frame, check that print at 10:26. I posted up at halfway through that candle, and I never got the fill. It was just off to the races. Yeah, Meta I'm going to look at here momentarily.
Get it, Ozan.
Let's go, Sharif. Meta up 3 1/3 here today, going absolutely nuts. This is what I'm talking about. Gorev and I have been in this. But anyways, we've taken 3 trades here today, and we're shooting at a 66.333% clip rate. All right? The 0.333, I'm obviously being highly sarcastic. But anyways, we take an initial loss. Look how patient I was. So 940 was that first attempt. I don't look to take anything else until an hour later. Even so, I did get stopped out about 45% of my position here and 45% of my position here. Taking a full stop up here, we were still able to turn things around and turn positive. All right, so that's what we had. It's been pretty cool. I'm going to wait for some more indecision prints. There's another good one there on NVDA, on AMD, 5 minute time frame, Gorev and Los Pollos. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Also put it in the chat if you want us to go over any names. Sharif.
All right, man. We're in CPHI. We're doing it live. We're doing well here. Looking for a move above the $0.50. I've got 33s showing me 44s, but there is a lot of resistance in the mid 40s. It is not even able to make it up into the high 40s. I lied about everything. I'm a liar. There it goes, ripping through the highs into 156. Looking for a little bit more here, Katina, man. Let's see what we can get here. Let's see if we can get up into 2/3. It's not all clear yet, right? Because we've got that $0.50 seller still rearing his ugly head. Well, that's, of course, ugly here is completely subjective. If you're long, you think he's ugly. If you're short, you're loving him, right? So looking at a 156 high. 156 is also limit up, guys. So that is the high of the day, but it is also limit up. And now we are engaging in a halt parameter momentarily. False halt. Another halt parameter initiates here. We need 10 seconds. at this level to halt 156. We need a few more seconds, and then we'll get the gray out. 3, 2, and 1. Come on, Joseph Options.
Bang.
Grayed out. It's not graying out. We're climbing
great.
up. Hold on. CPHI ripping to the high side here. 153.74 is the percentage on the day. We have 31s. We're halted at 56. Very happy with that. Now, let's get back into this. Yes, absolutely, Katina Man. Katina Man wants me to let you guys know that the SpaceX right now is at all-time lows. You need to think about that, because if you're looking at, building a position into this, think about what the levels are. Now, we talked to Joseph about this. If you recall, he had a lot of the dip trades set up at 150, but he astutely dropped them to 125. Ooh, so I actually quite think that that's a really good level.
Yeah, man.
To be quite honest with you.
I'm already down. Like what I've having from precision size, I was looking at my long term the other day. I'm already down 20%.
That's okay, brother.
We're
thinking long term.
Yeah.
We're thinking long term.
Listen, now again, you don't. So I don't want to overthink the situation. You don't want to overthink the situation, but what I believe needs to take into consideration how mature the actual company is right now.
Yes, sir.
So I think it's going to take a little bit longer. It's not like you were in early time.
Sorry, for the SpaceX downtick, there's nothing big happening, but there's just a post that I'm seeing that LAES ticker, which is 8 Seals Corp, Swiss semiconductor company CEO, is just having a meeting at SpaceX. So
okay, very important. Thank you very much, Sia, for that information. Katina Man's printing up a storm over there as SpaceX goes negative on the day, Mr. Options.
Yeah.
But there
SpaceX
you go.
going to. Okay.
Joseph, just before you continue,
go ahead.
JLHL is ripping, guys. Okay, I told
nice
y'all
high of
about
the
this
day break.
before, man. When one halts, the degens, their hands start shaking. They got to trade something, right? So you got to look to the next one immediately, and there goes JLHL, Mr. Options, into 12 and change. It's a 12.23 high. Be careful with this one. It is a little spready here. It opens up 10, 15 pennies at the highs, Joey. JLHL ripping in the highs.
Yeah, there it goes. A nice high of the day break on that one. That's a high quality setup for me there personally. What's the spread on that bad boy?
It's variable. Right now it's like 20 pennies.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a prickly one.
It's a prickly one there, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna just stick to. Dang, Joe, finish your thoughts, bro. I forgot it now, man. To be honest,
we were talking about SpaceX. We were talking about 125. You were telling me you're down 20% on the position, but the fact of the matter is you're still gonna let that 125 trigger.
Yeah. But I think there was a little bit more to it. I had something else there, but yeah, it completely slipped my mind. Yeah, it was slow motion, Joe. That's good information. Thanks for letting us know, my friend. Just in case, I mean, you don't know, now you know. So yeah, okay. What was I gonna do? All right, let's see. Let's just stick to the names that's been working. So yeah, I mean, here it is, right? Like, so it looks like we were about to take an additional leg lower. Hangry Wife. How is the Nasdaq looking here on the higher time frame? And I'm more or less referring to the daily. Oh yeah, you guessed it. We're still chopping within this range. This can get really dangerous and ugly, guys. You have to take into consideration that we're only down like a couple of percentage points off the highs. Oh. Right, like 3 3/4 roughly. So that's small potatoes. Watch out for this. Your boy Tom Lee, Sharif, is saying, watch out for that 15% pullback here in the overall market.
Yeah, Tom Lee and I aren't talking lately.
We haven't been BM? Talking. Yeah. We'll ask him if you can get a refund at least. Remember that meme I sent you the other day? It's just like, please, I don't even want money. I just want my initial deposit back. Let's see. We're going to post up at 45s here on the NASDAQ to see if we're fortunate enough to get that. This might be a little bit more of a stretch. I want to add more into this position. But first things first, we need the larger participants to want to participate in this rally a little bit higher. So let's see what we got going on here. Waiting for those lows. If it breaks 73.20, then we're at a dodge. Joy was not liking the commercial break. No, I don't care. We need to know the information. But yeah, as for what I was saying, I honestly truly forgot. I think it was more or less the fact that you have to be patient with this one, and we know what Tesla's doing. Tesla's trading at levels from 2021. Don't forget that. All right, Sharif, what do you got?
Quick reminder, guys, Trader TV Live members get Sharif's daily morning research note every trading day that I am here. We're talking about the big market stories, the key levels, the trade plan, the catalyst, and actually what we're watching into the open. It's only $4.99 a month, and you also get members only videos, posts, custom emojis, and loyalty badges. Hit join below this video. Hit join below this video here to become a member. Shout out to everybody who's joined. All right, we're gonna halt down here on CPHI. Let's see if we can get out a little bit of this because it is not letting me out. But even though it's gonna halt down at 140, we're still in the money on this, believe it or not. We got 131s, it's gonna halt at 141. We're halted down now on CPHI, on the MX. This is what I mean, right? When you get into a multiple halter on the MX, you will fly blind. You have no idea. And by the way, not just the MX and the NYSE. Neither will show you what the theoretical auction price is during the halt. Only the NASDAQ will, right? So if that isn't your cup of tea, then just stay away from it there. But in any event, we're still about 10 pennies in the money. Let's see how this cookie crumbles if we're able to actually gap up. Guys, we're still holding trend. I mean, I don't want to panic too much here because when you look at the 5-minute chart, we do have some good support. Right? There is a good amount of support here. We still have that 130 level that we defended on this candle, the 1110 candle, and that 130 level was also resistance at 1045. So let's see how the resumption comes to fruition next time around. But I'm going to be watching CPHI. I also want to mention that Lucid looks pretty good here, man. And we are about to take out yesterday's high. We are close. So this was the algo spike when the news came out. So this is the 5-minute chart. It came out right at 12:45. Now, Adair astutely pointed out that this was published on the EV magazine, but it hadn't been recycled online. Therefore, nobody really knew about it. But when it did come out online, it popped up to 576. That is 20 pennies from today's high. So we are pretty close to that algo area high on LCID. What a recovery that one was. I'm going to keep my eye on this one, lest there is nothing else to trade. MUZ, though, looking pretty good here, okay? I'm thinking 1460, 1450 dip trade, despite the fact that this one is knocking on the door of 15 with a 1496 high. I want to watch it. I see it, Tisha. You know I'm all over that. I'm all over JLHL, Tish, but, you know, the topping tail candle nature of this one has me a little concerned. So does the spread, Tish. Joey was asking me, he's like, yo, what is that? What's the spread on JLHL? I was like, it can be as wide as 20 pennies, right? So it does concern me, especially with the rinsing that I had on V yesterday, which was a tough trade. But, you know, I think you definitely have to have a short-term emotional memory for those trades. Not actual memory, because you have to remember your mistakes, but the emotional damage. From that one, you have to have short-term memory on. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one, Tish. To Bora Bora, just before we go up to SIA. SIA's got news, but let's just look at SOBR. SOBR was a big one yesterday, and it's doing all right today, man. You know, I'm not a big fan of these patterns here that continually put in higher lows. They tend to bull trap you, right? When they break out, it usually is not an intraday high. So just by way of example, to Bora Bora, it'll pop off VWAP, say it takes out that 220 area, which is a local area high, say it goes to 225, 230. We end up usually getting a fail subsequent to that. So that is my concern, but SOBR, you know, it's up nice. So we're gonna keep it on the side chart, and if it breaks above levels and continues to go, we'll definitely get involved. But for now, Joey and I are gonna pause. We're sending it up to SIA.
Now the market dropping a little bit here. Reports coming in that Iran's news agency MEHR, that is MEHR, has said that the U.S. projectiles have hit a location on Hengam Island, Hengam, market on the downside just a little bit. Keep an eye out. Iran's news agency MEHR is saying that the U.S. projectiles have hit a location on Hengam Island.
Yeah, it's expanding.
What's that?
The conflict.
Oh, yeah.
You see what President Trump said, like, I think last week or on the weekend? He's like, we'll take Karag Island. There's nothing they can do about it. Like, what if he takes the island, dude?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can when there's
I'm just
nothing
saying.
that, yeah,
right? Imagine the expansion of the conflict if he does take Karag.
What are they gonna? I think at that point, it's boots on the ground.
I don't think the American population has an appetite for that at all. And ahead of the
Not right now.
midterms,
Where in the world has an appetite for that?
I don't think that there. It's that's. I don't know. Yeah, they will bomb. They will bomb it, bad Christians. And of course, I don't think that they put boots on the ground, but you know, Joey is entitled to his opinion, man. And I just don't think that the Americans want that.
They take it by air, yeah. Dude, eventually somebody's gonna do something stupid, and then that's it. It's like a conflict that, I mean, I don't even know if we're not gonna get, anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. Yeah. I'm just over here living my best life, hitting the outdoor workout gym. That was a nice diving in the pool. Yesterday? It was great, man. Yeah. Hit the outdoor workout gym.
10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah, hit the outdoor workout gym. There we go, Gorev. Things are starting to pan out for us here. We're going to post up one more time. So what I've been saying to you, brother, is just little scalps here. And you know what? I should probably take off a little bit more, but I'm trying to find that one runner as we're starting to climb here now. But it was this move here, got stopped out. This move here got stopped out. This move up here, and then I got stopped out. But I did take off 45% right there. So I'm not going to complain about it whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, let's keep things positive here, and I understand that we have to cover it and everything along those lines. But hey, man, it's a good day. It's good feels, even though it's smoky outside.
Smoke on a pancake.
We're going to see if we can continuously hammer the trades that have been working for us throughout the intraday session, and that's been the NASDAQ. I love the print on the 5 minutes there. Gorev double print as well, too, now, which makes things even better. And then, I don't know why you got to say that stuff there, Tech Lion, but hey, to each their own. And I feel sorry that you have to say that. But here it is. Yeah, I do, truly. I don't know if they're joking or not, but it is not something taken overly lightly. Like I said, let's see if this momentum is going to continue. We might be forming a base here on the TQQs, so we'll keep an eye out on that one. Gorev, hopefully you're still rocking and rolling on this bad boy. Let's post up 73.45.
Hold down again on CPHI.
On TQQs.
Bit of an uptick on DAL here. Delta Airlines expanding its SAF, that's the Sustainable Aviation Fuel Access, across multiple United States hubs and priority cities with a 5-year agreement with Shell Aviation through the year 2030. Bit of an uptick on DAL here. Very close to 0.70% up on the day. Delta plans to scale its use of sustainable aviation fuel. That's the SAF across multiple U.S. hubs, as well as priority cities, with a 5-year agreement that goes through the year 2030 with Shell Aviation.
See?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No? No. What? Yeah, let me just find out.
Yeah, I was trading it the other day, man. Sorry. What is this? Guys, put it in the chat. What is the SpaceX
Thank you.
3X?
On the MX deal? Okay, let's check. Look at this one. Yeah, the normal one we could. Katina Man wants to make the point here, guys, that SpaceX is coming into 135. And that is a very important level, obviously, because that is the IPO price, right? So we need to keep a close eye here. We're very close to 135. We're 135.48. Be careful with this one, but keep your eye on it. I'm certainly going to keep my eye on it. And we may even take this trade, despite the fact that we don't really trade these small cap gappers all that much, or these large caps. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on here. I'm also keeping my eye on JLHL. I just got into this one, got stopped out super quick, but I still think that I have the right idea here.
It's SSPC.
SSPC, okay.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
Okay. So keep my eye on this one. I just got into JLHL. I'm going to give it to current bar low. Current bar low takes me down to 70. So let's go ahead and put, there we go. Perfect. So we'll see if we can defend that 10 area. I've got 10-11s on. It's showing me 10-10. So definitely interested in this one, but we'll see how the cookie crumbles. Over here, Joey, as it pops up into 1031, let's go ahead and take some profits here, possibly at the third of a dollar. Then we're also going to weight it around the $0.50. And then if this one gets really moving, you know, we'll take profits right around 69er. But looking for JLHL to defend that $10 area, but not immediately apparent whether that's going to be the case or not. So we'll keep tabs on that, and we'll also keep tabs, of course, on SPCX, as it does find a bit of a bounce here at 135.5, coming back into 136, but I'd be looking for 135, Joey.
Yeah, if you feel that way, Andrew Bakes Cakes, I think that's reasonable, man. Especially, it sounds like you're positioned relatively well. That's a great idea. I can totally get behind exactly what you just said, especially if you want to keep them. So yeah, man, I can totally get behind that. Gorev, would you get in that here, man? Oh man, what a missed opportunity once again here on this bad boy. But hey, it is what it is. SpaceX, let's head over to there because I know Katina Man and the crew are keeping an eye on this 135 level. Check out this, a whole heap of open interesting. This is the largest that we've seen. And I mean, if you head down to $100, that's where you're going to see anything relatively close to that size, so 28,000. If it does break and this level doesn't hold, watch out. Oh, I had it up here the whole time. I don't know why I didn't look at that. But there goes the NASDAQ finding a nice strong bounce. So maybe I can keep my eyes out for something that's been lagging and then participate in that. But we've been really rocking and rolling. There goes NVDA with a nice bounce off of the lows now to 209. That'll probably add a little bit more fuel to this TQQ's fire here momentarily. And the exact same thing on AMD. AMD's bouncing volume there. This was the original print that I was looking at, Gorev, but then it eventually gave way. Now starting to curl back over. But yeah, man, oh man, what a missed opportunity, unfortunately. But hey, I believe there's going to be plenty more throughout the day, just due to the fact that it is somewhat of a choppy session. But yeah, let's keep an eye out here. Okay. There it is. SpaceX really holding this 135.37. If this candle breaks, there most definitely can be some more downside. So be patient, guys. Other than that, I would be potentially looking for a move back in towards the volume weighted average price or that next major level of resistance, which was a prior support system here at 136.66. Keep an eye out on this bad boy for the moment. We'll always keep our eyes on the options chain as well, too.
All right, just one sec. Just trying to take some profits here on CPHIs. It did find some support at the dollar. Want to see if it does catch a bit of a bounce, or we're just getting a short covering here. Seller at 9, seller at 9. Can't shake the seller at 9. Don't like it out. Okay, so we'll let that one go. Still watching closely here, JLHL. Let's see. Oh, it's defining some support here. CPHI. Keep your eye out here for the $1 support, but 120 limit up. This one could halt again immediately, okay? It's just really close to limit up. 14, 18, 17, this one could catch another halt, but it is below VWAP. So be careful with this one. CPHI all over the map, man. All right, JLHL. Look, it's holding above 10. I'm not liking it. We got 11s. It's showing me 15s. It just popped off into 35. We didn't get any prints because it has to cross on both the bid and the ask. It didn't do that. There it is, opening up. Again, the spread super wide, 96 on the bid, 15 on the ask. Hard to manage risk on this one. But there you go. CPHI is going to halt up here at 122. So this one does find a lot of support at 1, and there it goes, right back into the area high. Good look here. But this area halt, if it halts at 122, that will be halting right at the volume weighted average price. So be on the lookout for that. CPHI all over the map. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to see you.
This is coming in. Anthropic is reportedly planning to hold IPO meetings with certain potential investors in the coming weeks. Bloomberg reporting that Anthropic reportedly planning to hold IPO investor meetings with potential investors in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, got stopped out of JLHL. Thank you for that information, Sia. It did lose trend, so that's the end of the trade there for JLHL. I want to keep my eye, though, on ELVA. Tisha was calling that one out, so let's go ahead and put that instead of SanDisk over here, ELVA. Now, this one is not quite ready to trade yet because it is still coming from the south of the volume-weighted average price. It's got some higher lows. Be careful there. This one could get a big price spike up, maybe into 12, probably into 1230, because that's technically the high of the day. That's also the implied balance open. But, you know, it's still, it's showing flat top breakish, right? Ascending wedge, higher lows, same area resistance right around 11.5, give or take. Whether it goes through that ascending wedge pattern and breaks into 12 and 1230 and even possibly higher, we'll have to wait and see. But ELVA, definitely going to be in focus for me here. Tisha, what's your move on this one? Are you in already? Are you building a position maybe from 11? Or what's your situation on ELVA? I'd love to get your take on that one, Tish. Shout out to my man Ozan. Fable 5 of Anthropic is sick like a Absolutely, Ozan. And you know that President Trump's administration had asked, Dario and company to take it off, right? Because there were some issues there with the guardrails that Anthropic had put specifically for Mythos and Fable. But that's all been resolved. And I got the message when I opened my Claude app that Fable 5 was back. Now, this is like a week and a half ago, something like that. But it's fantastic, man. And I am using Claude for almost everything. I'm talking about my diet. I'm talking about my actual split my strength training split, my supplements, all the minerals and vitamins that I'm taking, as well as other things, right? Everything I'm running through Claude. It is by far the most level-headed of the AIs, and I find it to be, it's like almost PhD level. Like you go to a nutritionist or somebody that, and then they give you kind of a titration schedule. Don't go gung-ho, work your way up, get your body, your metabolism acclimated to these kind of different substances that you're putting into your body, right?
You know what I'm noticing over the past couple of weeks?
You're out, Juan. Sorry, brother.
What did Juan say?
You can't say that, brother. You're gone.
Well, he always says that. He's only joking, but
that doesn't matter. He's gone.
What I've noticed over the past little while is that Selena said this to me the other day. She's like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, but ChatGPT said this. And I ended up saying, I don't care what ChatGPT says. We're going to do this. And then I had a friend who I've been working on some things with. He's like, yeah, okay. So I did some research via ChatGPT. ChatGPT said this. And I'm just thinking in my head to the point where you're going here. And I'm starting to notice that we're really getting heavily reliant on some of these AI tools. And I think it's just a really big shift. And it also brought me to the point where I'm like, I think you have to take into consideration that these tools, and not necessarily in your scenario, aren't using these things in real world situations. Like, even though they may be trained on whatever, but I think there's still that human aspect of things that need to be implemented that these LLM tools don't have. And that's what led me to say to Selena is I don't care what ChatGPT says in this scenario. And to my boy, the exact same thing. It's like, okay, but ChatGPT isn't doing this in real life. And I find it really interesting because if we're using it like this, think about what the younger generation who's growing up on it, they're
So I got 2 points. ChatGPT sucks.
Yeah.
Number 2, it's only as good as the information you feed it.
Yeah.
So the more nuanced you put your prompt and the more details you give about yourself and your specific situation, whatever you're doing, whether it's fitness related or whatever else related, I find the answer exponentially improves the more details you give it. So if you're going to be super basic and kind of give it just like a, Cole's Notes version, you're going to get a Cole's Notes answer.
And just for clarification, I'm just using GPT as that generic thing like, hey, we're using these tools, you know what I mean? To the point where everybody's like, okay,
I want to dunk on chat, though.
Yeah, of course, man. Any opportunity. I am not, Hamster, I am not anti-AI whatsoever. Like, I mean, I'm fully invested. Though? I don't understand. I'm just saying.
The people who don't like AI remind me of the people who didn't want to use the internet for research when it first came out. And they wanted to go and do books, and they used books. You were too young, Sia, to remember that. Right?
Yeah. But in all seriousness, listen, I'm all about technology. I think it's going to continue to grow. It's either adapt or get left behind, in my opinion, right? And listen, I'm all about these tools. I think they're fantastic. They've helped me do things that I couldn't do before.
Right.
But at some point, I think we still need to keep the human aspect into.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Let's send it to Sia. She's got news.
Some information coming from The Information that ASML plans to price increase for chip making equipment. Just keep an eye out on ASML planning some price increases for their chip making equipment. This is coming from The Information.
Very much, Sia. ASML negative on the day after a great report, but it's flat. So as I said today in the morning, you got to keep your eye on the price action on ASML in the days and weeks subsequent. It is not one of those ones that really reacts positively to earnings report, even though they are quite positive. So that's my little spiel there. In any event, guys, not doing anything right now, not liking anything right now, keeping an eye here on ELVA. But it looks like it's rejecting, VWAP into 1175 and coming right back down, possibly into 11. That could be the pickup, right? We're seeing 2 topping tail candles right at VWAP, so that doesn't really appetize me for a long here. Now, I don't mind picking this up right into the 11, low 11s, because that would still kind of respect this higher low ascending wedge pattern that we're putting in, that I perceive us putting in on ELVA. So we'll keep tabs on that. What else do I have? JLHL, not going to touch that one. 0 for 2 on it, and SOBR still straddling VWAP here. It looks like it tried to break above that lower trend line with this candle. popped up into 218. That's still a lower high than the 220 candle that we put in at 1030. So it'll have to clear that for me to get involved. And then last but not least, CPHI fighting here, a little above VWAP, but a little bit below. Keep your eye on the move above 135. 135 was the halt level. I'd like to see that level cleared. I think if we do, maybe we get a 2-touch, but we'll have to wait and see, Joey, on that one. So guys, not liking anything, but as always, if there are any small cap gappers that I haven't mentioned, that I've kind of glossed over in the chat, please tag me, tag Joe, let us know. Mike, the stock impaler, Sharif, both ES and NQ have long bottom wick candles on the 10-minute chart. Sure, let's have a look. Those are usually bullish signals, but let's take a look at what you're seeing. So I'm not going to put the NQ because I don't have permissions for that anymore. I took it off, but I will put the Qs. Hopefully the chart pattern will be the same. Yes, I see what you're saying. So this is very bullish. This is extremely bullish here. The fact that you have umpteen amount of bottoming tail candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bottoming tail candles all in and around 714 to 715. No closing prints, pardon me, below 715. We need a big move up though. We need to move up into 720 to go green on the day because right now we're Redsville. About 0.5%. So let's see if this market gets bought up, Joey.
Beautiful stuff, man. Apple and Google are going absolutely parabolic here today. I mean, we're up 3%. Yeah, it's looking really good here. Who gave the downgrade yesterday on AAPL? Yeah, I hope you're having a good time on that one. KeyBank. Sharif won't forget.
All right, wait. October 4th, 2023.
Yeah. People don't
Should
forget,
we do it again?
Bro. Do it, show them, man.
Should we do it again?
No, we don't want to. I mean, they were getting dunked on right now. You're going to give Apple a downgrade here. Now Google back up to 371 over here. So, I mean, it's just up and to the right on some of these bad boys. We're down 1 1/4 here on NVDA. I do like this signal, guys, but a couple of missed opportunities on the NASDAQ. But, hey, it is what it is. We got plenty of time throughout the intraday session. I mean, I've already taken more trades today than I have on the past couple of days, and they have been pretty decent. So we're not going to complain about it whatsoever, and we want to just keep the momentum in our favor. Someone said the quantum space is finished. It's done now.
What? We're just getting started, baby.
No, but they're being sarcastic. Yeah, like, it's getting absolutely destroyed, you know what I mean? Right. From a bigger picture. Like, I mean, you have D-Wave going up to $31. That stock's now been cut in half. And some of the other quantum names are just getting beaten to a pulp. As our good friend, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, and I'll slow it down. CrowdStrike hit all-time highs once again here today.
No way.
Yeah, man. It's
good job, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's my favorite stock that I don't own, which is insane. But we also went on that spiel where we don't want to spread ourselves too thin.
Dang.
I'm actually looking to maybe even sell some positions that we're slightly in the money with. And I'm just like, hey, maybe we just a little bit more of a concentration. And again, not financial advice. You have to manage your own accounts, and whatever happens, whatever I do, I'm not saying do it. Like, don't do it whatsoever. Shout out to Ben Affleck, who said,
Ben.
Well, no, don't. He said this. I was joking around in the chat yesterday. I'm like, yeah, I might just YOLO and just full port NVDA or something like that. And he's like, all right, well, let me know when you do so I can go short. And I'm like, those are fighting words, my guy. Obviously being sarcastic, right? But no, I like Ben. He's a good one. But JPM hitting all-time highs. Listen, I talked about the banks. This name's been doing absolutely fantastic for us here once again. And I didn't understand. It's like, all right, you're going to sell in the pre-market and off of the earnings report. Watch out for an insane session. And then for a matter of fact, we go up a couple of percentage points. So it's been absolutely fantastic in JP Morgan, especially considering we've been buying it in the high 290s, right? Low 300s. So this has just been a really good worker for us. Goldman Sachs coming off another all-time high. These banks are just doing absolute phenomenal things and wonderful things there, Sharif. And surprisingly so, the airlines and some of these cruise lines are positive today. A lot of them not double digits, like a couple of percentage points here.
This is a very unusual state of affairs. Let's talk about this, okay?
Yeah.
The triple Qs, Joseph Wilson, are down 0.5%.
Yeah.
Netflix up 1.16. Meta up 2 1/3. Microsoft up over 3. Apple 3 1/4. Google 3.5. Amazon 3 1/4. Tesla flat. SpaceX flat. Nvidia, the only one that is down 1 1/3. How the hell are the Qs? So not even the Mag are even able to lift the Qs
Not right
into
now.
positivesville. Like, and they're
dude,
all high single digits.
It's because the memory names. Like you have
Chips.
Western Digital down 8%. You have Seagate down 7 4/10. SanDisk down 12%. Micron down 8%. Dell down 12%.
Unreal.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like these, whoever's getting hit is getting hit heavy.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing a rotation into somewhere else.
I thought it was smart coming up with the lag 7 today.
Yeah,
And
but I'm
Joseph's
like, bro,
yo,
leave into it,
come back.
Yeah.
Like before, I had never heard anybody say lag 7.
Someone said it a
all my
couple of
life,
weeks. Someone
bro.
said it a couple of weeks ago, which was good.
Gorev.
Gorev, what's my boy?
I was wondering the same thing. Yeah, Gorev, brother. I mean, that's atypical, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, Gorev. Usually when we have the mag this strong, the Qs typically are not down 0.2%. So some food for thought. Guys, I'm caught in an up halt again on CPHI. We're in at 28s. We're halted at 39.40 on the ask. But we saw what happened last time. I was caught in an up halt, and this one bled its own blood down. So we got to be careful with this one. We did take out a lot, as you can see, all the triangles there kind of on top of one another because we were taking profits, worried that this one could flush again. Now, halt time, 11:43.10, current time, 11:45.40, earliest open, 11:48.10. That gives us a few minutes. So we still have the time to hang out.
Oh.
Why does Quinton 2024 Apple pisses me off? Why, Quinton?
Just too
Maybe because
good,
they're
man.
expensive? I don't know. What's going on over there, Quinton? Well, I need an explanation.
What's the PE on Apple?
Apple? Like usually in the 30s or 40s. Let me have a look over here, Joey. 38.24, yeah.
I like.
Yeah. Because his buy price is all right.
Don't be like that, Blicky.
All right, Blicky's funny, man.
he is funny,
He
man.
liked
That's my
that. He
guy.
liked that contract joke about Altman on Monday.
Did he?
I still think that a contract may or may not find its way onto the noggin of Altman. And when I say contract, I mean catch charges as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
ask,
I think he's digging himself a little bit of a hole.
ask Elon Musk how he feels about that.
Yeah, you see Altman. He's like, now that you're obsessed with me again, right?
yeah,
Like
boy.
Altman, bro. Nobody's obsessed with you, bro. We just don't like.
He is
you,
the
all right?
talk
Calm
of
down.
he is the talk of the tech world right now.
He is?
bro, I
Not
believe,
for the
but
right
not
reasons,
exactly, and that's what I was just about to say.
Not
Maybe
for the
not
right
necessarily
reason.
for the right reason.
Yep. All right. There's news, so we got to throw it to see you.
Keep an eye out on TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, falling a little bit. So TSMC has begun to push back on the ASML pricing plan. It's just falling a little bit right now. TSM ticker down 2% on the day.
In Weiwei, my
Yo,
man,
what's up,
Jane
man?
Weiwei's back, man. Dropping 70 new Taiwanese beautiful ones in the chat. Yo, my favorite hosting duo, Sharif and Joe. Heng Gao Shen Ren Shini, man. Shout out to my man, JJ.
Yo, what's
Jin
up,
Jay.
man?
Jin Weiwei. All right, guys, we're still waiting for the resumption here. We are about, Joey, 30 seconds or so, showing 47.40. Right now, we're waiting for 48.10 for resumption. So, going to keep my eye. What's going on, Sal Walker?
what happened,
21.49.
man?
You're just trying to aggravate us,
Yeah,
bro.
now you're taking a little bit too far.
Yeah. Joey, you know,
It's just like those
he's
guys.
kind. He's kind, right? So we're not gonna ding him quite yet, but yeah. Anyway, 10 seconds or so, Joey, until resumption here. So let's see the share situation. Let's load up the side chart. Wow, this is really taking its sweet time. Resumption. And there we go again, man, heading back down. So let's take off some here to make sure we are good. There we got 28s on. Boom, into the area high. There we go. We're looking for more here, Joseph options. Into 44. Why is it not giving me anything? I love it. It is good times, bro. All right. Oh, that's why.
Oh,
this
come
thing
on,
again,
man.
Yeah. It is like that. We're gonna have to,
PTSD, man.
Yeah, straight up.
I know, Star Walker.
There we go. We're doing okay now. There's 40. Looking for a little bit more. 41 seller. Let's go ahead and wait up here. We're looking for 45s. There's 43, Joey. Looking for a little bit higher. 42s. And we're also going to post up at 48. We got 28s on here, but it's not showing me a positive sign. There's a seller at 43 that we can't take out here on CPHI. Bleeding its own blood down. Into 36. Buyer here at 36, preventing us from descending any further. And they're adding more into 41. Yeah, there's no continuity in this one, brother. I mean, it's super choppy. Look, as soon as it makes its way up into the low 40s, it's hit with a big sell order. So nothing coming above 43 right now. You guys got to be alive to that. But there's also a buyer at 36. So for the moment, underline that, for the moment, we're getting backstop. But look at that sell order coming down more and more. 43, 41, now it's at 40. Watch out for the flush here. This could be a bamboozling flush. Let's see what that 36 buyer has to offer. There it is again. The size is coming off the gateway. I'm out into 35. So let's see if this one flushes. 33, perfect. Okay, good out there. Let's see if it bounces back up. We can always get back in, especially if he takes out that 43 seller. I can get back involved in this one. So CPHI, zigging and zagging, no continuity. ELVA, says Amir. I've got it over here, Amir. I put it on because Tisha mentioned it, right? So here's what I'm seeing, Amir. On ELVA, middle of your screen, it's straddling VWAP, brother, and that's why I'm not quick to jump into this one. It's showing me topping tail candles through volume weighted average price. That isn't bullish. But if we break above, that 1175.12, I'm not really certain exactly what the level is going to be. I have to watch the tape. I'm interested in it. Seller at 43 again. They took him out momentarily, Joey, but he's back. He's doing it live. Let's see if we can get back into this one and take out some area highs. What do you got?
Good stuff. Bro, how are you calling RIP on semis when NVDA is only down 1%? It was up 4% yesterday. AMD, I mean, is definitely getting hit heavier today. ARM down, hit pretty. All right, I see where you're getting at. I can see your point. Broadcom down slightly here, but nothing crazy. I'm glad that we've been patient here, guys. These have been my only trades here on the day. One loss, 2, 3, 4 small wins, right? And you just try to stack up the small wins. So we've been fortunate to be sitting in this camp and being patient. And I think I want to stick with that game plan. We'll wait for a couple more things. I was thinking about heading over to small cap land because I did have that Elva was on my list earlier this morning. I seen it moving in the pre-market. No follow through just yet. So, I mean, there's going to be plenty of opportunities within this chop. The NASDAQ is consolidating. And if we zoom out, which we did earlier, and Hangry Wife and I were talking about this not too long ago, is that, hey, look at this, man. You're starting to form these lower highs with the flat bottom. Watch out for that triangle and that wedge to be broken. And if it is, guess what? Who's a buyer of more of these stocks that get sold off? Obviously, I am, but you want to be patient and wait for those levels to come into play. Now, let's head over to our watch list and just do a quick rundown and see what we have. We'll head over to the options chain because I want to know what SpaceX is doing, especially around that 135 marker, which is really important, right? We have all that gamma exposure there and then that massive amount of open interest. So one can't correlate without the other. So here it is, $135. You do get that pop up into 136, but guess what?
What?
Headed right back towards I'm glad you answered that question, Sharif, because we're heading right back towards the low of the day. We want to see these levels hold up at 135.27. If it doesn't, then where's that next step? 130. But this support system has definitely been coming into play for the past couple of sessions, all right? Now, you want to keep an eye out on it just in case it's lifted. If that size is lifted or rolled over, then again, same thing. I do believe we're going to see some more downside. It's unfortunate. Like, listen, I've already had 2 entries on it for a small size, and I'm down 20% in the position. That's why I removed the 150 bid and posted up at 125 because I don't think it's just going to be a complete V reversal from this level. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But when you have something this heavily weighted and this much interest involving it, technically it takes a little bit more time for things to turn around. You can see a base. You'll see sometimes that you're trading below. And I use this speedboat compared to a cruise ship analogy, right? Like with speedboat, boom, you can turn V quick. But a cruise ship, a lot bigger, holds a lot more people, takes a little bit more time to turn around. All right.
It's got thrusters on the side.
They got thrusters.
Yeah. So it's like they can kind of move like in a circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Right, but even so, it takes quite a bit of time to turn around, right? Let's head over to what?
Flex my knowledge.
That's all right, man. You can do that. Wally's World. Hey, man, we were talking about the bottom potentially on this bad boy. Now we're up to 114.47, so this is looking pretty good. Positive here on the day, which we will take any day of the week. Here's NASA, that hot garbage. I can't believe it. I don't even know why I decided to buy this. It's now.
Look at that head and shoulders.
It's
my
disastrous
days.
Here, down 42%.
Yo, I'm taking that as a short.
All day. Well, I mean,
no, because Fabian's forcing us to do picks again, right? So I'm
Oh,
still
you're gonna
kind of
take
going
this?
back
Okay.
and forth. I might take that as a short.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
take Netflix and that as a short.
Oh.
Show him the head and shoulders on the flakes
On the
weekly.
flex. Yo, let me be real with you, my dog.
Can we just see the weekly there, quick, Joe?
Yeah.
That? Because remember that. Okay, you got to zoom out. There we go. Yeah. So that's what.
Man,
I'm gonna take everything short.
that's crazy.
No, I'm kidding, of course. But I might actually take NASA and flip
I
short.
would-
If I get blown out, I get blown out. It's fake money anyway.
Yeah,
man,
it's
but,
fair. Yeah, but you want like
I want to win. I get it. I get
yeah.
it. But like, I like the patterns on that.
You like that?
Of course I do. Look at that thing.
Listen. I think this, if anything, like think about it. These guys are reporting they dropped out of that deal. I wouldn't be surprised if you see like a 10% pop on Netflix after the report.
That's
10% in either direction, maybe.
It's possible. Look, I read a couple of articles that they're starting to kind of lose the momentum in terms of subs because a lot of other streamers are starting to pick them up as well.
Yeah, which is fair. Yeah, that's
we'll
fair,
see.
right? And they don't disclose new subscriptions anymore.
Sorry. They're going to do it periodically. Periodically,
Is everybody going to start doing it again now?
Well, they do it periodically.
Oh, okay.
Like,
when they feel like it.
I guess, right? Homeless God. Families in Georgia are losing their homes to AI data centers. 30 homes so far by eminent domain. Really? They're taking people's homes to build data centers. That's insane.
I'm sure.
Why are they doing that? That's usually like reserved for transit projects and military bases and stuff like that. Like, is there that much a shortage of land that there's nowhere to put these data centers? You got to take people's property, or are they taking people's land? Why are they even doing that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that they were doing that, Homeless God, but keep me updated, brother.
Are they not paid for it, though?
Just one sec. Lemon Family, okay, we are not friends. You're shorting everything. You got to be Neil 2.0. LOL. No, I don't think Neil shorts everything either, brother. Shout out to Slow Motion. And I'm kidding.
Oh, Neil's already got the lunch going? What was for lunch? What was for lunch?
He's already eating.
He's tapped in, man.
And Sia is ready to go, so we won't keep her in.
We got the collab, too. Whoa, that was crazy,
disappoint
man.
Sia, brother.
That was madness.
Get it, Sia.
Directed at you at all. We're going to take a look at NVO, Novo Nordisk, not moving as much, but just keep an eye out. It's planning to introduce its PYPL in more nations in the latter half of 2026. It's received an approval, so that is the NVO up on the day 3.4%. Also take a look at Google here. Again, not a major move, but just something to mention that Google will be allowing third-party stores in its app store as of next week. Google, little bit of an uptick, not a major move.
SOBR slept this one off, Joey, right into that 230 area. SOBR making a big move. I worry, though, about these ones. I do worry because they are prolonged downtrend breaks that often lure in longs as bull traps. I'm not saying it's going to happen on every single occasion, but it tends to happen more often than not. What I'm speaking about are these big kind of moves done by small cap gappers that end up trending down for a long time. Lower highs, typically they're straddling VWAP as support. And then they get a big boy candle like SOBR is getting right now, 235, and then they fail. But look, this is a bigger move here on SOBR. I'm not going to jump in until that implied balance high, 263 is taken out. That gives me room from 2 1/3 into 3. I can stomach that, but I don't want to get involved here with SOBR because I feel these patterns are bull traps. I could be wrong again, but hey, jump into it if you like. But I'm not jumping in quite yet. JLHL is bleeding its own blood. It's going to lose its spot on the side chart any moment now. Is it halting down? It looks like it might halt down here on JLHL at 940, but I know for a fact that CPHI is also halted down. Down it goes. A rejection of 145 and losing the volume weighted average price again. That's the bad news. The good news is, ironically enough, despite all this one's volatility, it's still putting in higher lows, man. So you want to play it off that? Have at it. Benton, happening with VIVS right now too. Shout out to my man Benton. Let's have a look at VIVS. Where are we going to put VIVS? We're going to take off JLHL because it's hot garbage. VIVS. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, recovering. There it is, Benton, holding the dollar quite well, though. If this one moves back, Benton, you could see an aggressive move into 157, maybe even 170. I say 157 because that's the official high day, but VWAP's hanging around 1 2/3 to 170. So VIVS also in focus. I want to read out something that Carsrow 8823 wrote. So it's regarding the data center comment from Homeless God. And I was talking about why are they using eminent domain. He's like, no, it's not for AI data centers. They're not taking people's land to build data centers. What they're doing is they're taking people's land to build power lines for the data centers. That makes pure sense to me. And it's never really a good thing. Of course, when eminent domain has to be used, you always want that to be left for the open market, for people to, decide whether or not they want to sell their property or not, rather than being told by the government, here's what we're taking, and here's what we're paying you for it. Oftentimes there are appeal mechanisms for the price, of course, but it's never a good feeling just having your home taken by the government. So I completely understand that. Thank you for pointing that out. Grunfeld, SOBR, just covered it. Thank you, Grunfeld. Random Scenes 32. Sia, we got, chime in, Sia, if you can. Has Sia given her predictions on the match today? I'm not asking Sia.
I did.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, he asked the same thing again. So please give us your predictions.
As much as I am inclined towards Argentina, I think the last match was a bit of a struggle, and they definitely needed to practice more, which was clearly seen through the game. And don't even get me started about the Egypt game.
Okay.
And I think, I told this to Joe earlier in the morning and the production team, that England is a strong team, right? So here's what I think. It's going to be 2 England, 1 Argentina.
Boom, Sia.
I don't like this prediction, but realistically, I feel like this is how it could be. It could also go into penalties. You never know.
Absolutely.
But
They're
that
two
is
good
my,
teams.
if I were to do a parlay right now, that's how it would hit. But yeah.
All right.
It's Jude.
She's spoken.
Harry Kane.
She's spoken. So now that she's spoken, let me show you why I was complaining.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Look at this.
I know,
did I
man.
just not say this?
You did not.
Did
You
I
did.
just not say
said
this?
it, man.
I've seen too much. I told y'all, watch out for SOBR. This is what they do, Joseph Options.
Yeah, that was
They
crazy.
lure you in with the bull trap, and then they end up failing prior bar.
There goes the whole market too, man, just to the downside.
Unreal. Unreal. 3-2 Argentina, says Ozan. My man, Adam James Abroad.
Yeah, just in case you didn't
Bad
know.
word, data centers, and more AI. Shout out to my man, Adam James Abroad. We know exactly how he feels about data centers, and I respect
How
his
about in
opinion.
space, though, my boy? What do you think about them in space?
Adam.
Yeah, Adam.
Adam. Yeah, one second.
No, seriously.
Adam,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
would you feel about data centers in space?
No,
would
give
you
us,
still
like-
be? Would you still be against them?
That would be that's a genuine question too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let us know, Adam.
Let us know.
But in any event, we're sending it to Sia for happening now,
I'm mad.
and then Neil
I need
has
a
his lesson of
drink,
the day.
man. Not like an actual.
Let's check how the major averages are doing at the moment before diving into what's going on with the market. Why is it bleeding the way it is? We have SPY currently up 0.12%. The triple Qs are all down 0.67%. The Dow is currently up 0.27%, and the IWM up very close to 0.50%. So this is just coming in from Axios, citing a certain senior White House official coming in that at this stage, there is still no meeting with Netanyahu on Trump's schedule for next week. We'll see what happens. So this is just coming in from Axios, citing a certain senior White House official. Let's also take a look at 2 things that I want to talk to you about. First of all, BlackRock. So shares are on track for their best day in more than a year today after the earnings have topped Wall Street expectations. We'll be discussing earnings in depth during our news segment. Don't go anywhere. So shares have climbed more than 7% right now. They're currently up 7.2%. So if the stock closes at this level, it will mark one of the best days BlackRock will have since April 2025. So biggest one-day increase over there. Let's also take a look at how the chip stocks are doing right now. So continuing to roll from earlier in the day as well. MU down over 8.5%. AMD down over 5.5%. INTC is down close to 7%, with SNDK continuing to slide to 12.5%. But we're going to take a break and go to Neil because he has a lesson for you right now.
Thank you, Sia, not just for the introduction, but thank you for that wonderful prediction that England will get one step closer to bringing it home. I have a personal bias. I'll be absolutely real about it. Canadian, wanted Canada to win, but the only reason that I cheer for England is because my cousin was a forward for them back in the day. And so I always will. Family first, man. Shout out to Emil Heskey. That being said, that's not really, the lesson of the day here is there's a concept that I've said before, and I want to bring up. It has to do with patience, but also what you're doing when a trade is starting to work. You'll often see, if you're trying to hold something, like it can mean two things. You can either just like hold it forever, wherever it might go to. That's one way to think about it. Like you're thinking, I'm just going to hold it because I think the move is forever. Or there is, I have a move in mind, and I make sure that I want to capture that move. Either way, you've got to have that notion as to what you're looking to get out of the trade relative to what you are risking. And to me, the first part of that comes into, hey, what are you risking on a trade? We've talked about this many times. I'm going to use 3 examples here because this is fractal. It doesn't matter whether you're trading something at $1,000 or $5 or $50 or $150, and you're looking for $10 moves or $1 moves or 10-cent moves. That's all just noise. It really just comes down to the risk to reward. So whenever I'm in something and I have an area where I'm wrong, so I'm taking a short here, I'm deciding I'm wrong at the prior day low breaking out, that gives me a wick exit point. So I already know what I am risking. And note, regardless of the amount of shares I or anybody has, or how many times I'm looking to get out, I do know that entry is to this exit, and I cannot be getting out 1-to-1. Once it travels that distance or a little bit more, then I want to be taking shares. Because then I'm ensuring that when it works for me, I'm not just shotgunning out in a range where I'm taking a bunch of shares out, but if it loses, I'm losing more. So I want to hold and make sure I'm not taking anything inside of this range, and then I can get out before. When it breaks a consolidation like this, I typically reset. That's where you see me go into trend mode. I'm either looking for the full part of the move or I'm looking for the trend line. I have myself some set rules. When a trader does it that way, you allow yourself to be consistent. And consistency is what matters. SpaceX broke that 135, by the way. SpaceX just broke the 135. Bye-bye. If you were looking stink bids, then you've got them, that's for sure. But again, this just comes down to risk to reward. Like if you were going long off 135, you just got slipped $1.50. I can tell you there were no fills through 150. I can tell you that with 100% certainty because I would have got filled. But this is an absolute flush shot. And again, it just comes down to risk to reward. If you were long 135 at 135.5 and taking this dollar and happy with yourself, understand that when that trade lost, you could have lost $1 to $1.50. So that scalp trade really isn't that good when you put it into context. See how I can quickly weave it into anything? And it is all fractal. I don't care how big or how small a move might be. One of the examples I was giving you guys today was, okay, well, something went down that I didn't think should. The market was going to the downside. It's still going to the downside. There was a positive piece of news. It doesn't really matter what it was on WBD. I only trade this when I see what I effectively feel is free money. I wait for it to hit the low. I'm in. I have a tight stop. But my goal is to get to and plus VWAP. No outs. No outs in this range. Into VWAP. Until it starts slowing into the volume weighted average price, I'm only taking it out when it gets there. I'm only taking it out at the tops. To me, that's what patience, it doesn't mean you're holding for the entirety of the move. It means you're not shotgunning out as it's starting to work for you. And when it's starting to work for you, you let it get to that next level. That's the part of risk to reward that I constantly see people not talk about. And it's the most important part about your risk to reward. R&R isn't about just, okay, well, how far did the move go? Where did you get out in that move? Where were you taking profits in that move? Because you can get in and risk 10 cents to make $1, but if you get out of 80% of your shares in the first 10 cents, you didn't really hold it that dollar. You want to make sure that you're getting your outs in a place that allows you to be profitable in the long run and not just on the trade that you happen to be in. Because it's a story of how you do on that trade if it wins versus how you do on that trade if that trade loses. Not if some other trade loses. If that trade loses, what would it have cost you? I think SpaceX would be a great example of that. If you were going long 135, okay, great. That could have been a winning trade for someone who's long 135.50 in front and giving it to 135. But is it really if it does this first? If it does that first, then was $1 good? No, it was not. And that's what you have to judge it against. Someone out there could be like, okay, that was a good trade, but you have to look back at it and say, you know what? You probably risked more than it was worth it to try to get that one to work for you. So there's the flush job in SpaceX. Hopefully nobody got caught long in that sucker. The SPY also back into the lows. The shorts have absolutely ruled today, unless you were able to find a couple of longs in there. That's why when there's like a panic move down, I always look over it. Is there something structurally that shouldn't be falling? And usually try that for a reversion. Good luck, everybody. We got some, I don't even know. We got some, it's like dry chicken and some rice. It's like a coconut something sauce. I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I'm not a big fan of it. What? You want a number? You think you liked it, Joe? I'm going to give it like a 6.7. Back to the midday.
It was good, man. I was chewing some in, I was chewing in the kitchen, man. It's like a curry chicken.
Joey, I got to tell the people about VinFast, which continues to expand beyond just vehicle sales. This week, VinFast India partnered with Shriram Finance to support EV financing access, while Green SM, they launch an all-electric ride-hailing service in Kazakhstan with the VinFast VF6 vehicles. Good luck. Together, these moves highlight VinFast's broader mobility ecosystem strategy. You can find them trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker VFS. SpaceX has no bid. SpaceX has no bid. This is bleeding pretty aggressively here, guys. 132.5. Yeah. This is really, really a big sell-off. As Neil was pointing out, if you had 135s, you got $1 and change in slippage. This is a 1 minute chart on the top.
That is okay. I didn't even see that. Yeah. No, before we go over to Adara, we have to cover this. And what we were talking about here at 135 is absolutely insane. See you later. The most amount of volume in there. Absolutely dumping sharage here on SPCX. Some crazy stuff. Keep an eye out on that options chain, guys. We were telling you about that floor. As soon as that gave out, it was absolutely tank city. Let's go over to Adara.
Yeah.
Bit of an uptick here on USO. We are getting some more reports here, this time from Iran's Fars News. So be aware, it is Iranian state media, but they're reporting that there are large explosions being heard from Bubian Island and the Virginia military camp in Kuwait. Apparently, these locations are home to U.S. military personnel, so this could suggest we're getting some targets now on the U.S. If I get any more details, I'll let you know. Also, Fed's Warsh's hearing ended actually kind of early here. This is the day 2 of 2 for the semi-annual monetary policy reports. We're not going to hear from Warsh over in Washington at Capitol Hill again, probably until March of 2027. Back to you.
Adara, Adam James abroad. He's dropping 10 nice ones in the chat. There goes CPHI.
What do you say about space?
We're going to cover it in 1 second. Just before we get to it, CPHI on its horse, its go-kart, whatever form of transportation or conveyance this one has, 157 high. It's dancing right now with that 150. Keep your eye on this one. If we squeeze here, we could catch a lot of people offside on the short, and we could see two. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying look out here. There's a 152 seller. My man, Adam James abroad. How about our monster overlords build giant indoor food warehouses, gardens, grow houses, give everyone land and clean water, not war, AI, and mass surveillance centers and flock cameras? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Run, tell that? What does that mean?
I'm not sure, but everything else he said.
Space is fake. NASA small hat deception crew. That's where you and I are going to disagree markedly.
Yeah.
I do not take that position. Just
Space is fake.
I think the science there does support that space is real, as well as the fact that the Earth is round and a ball, a sphere.
Okay,
Argentina wins 2-0. Comeback with 5 minutes to go. Mopar for life.
Listen. Okay, we're not getting space.
Oh boy.
I'm not going to get into that space talk, but you have a valid point there. Imagine you had these companies spending money on these indoor food warehouses, gardens, and grow houses. Like, imagine they're like, hey, we're going to spend a couple $1 trillion on this stuff. I can totally get behind that. But as for that
I just want to say one thing.
Stuff,
everything that Adam said, I would love. I don't think that the government should be giving people this stuff, because that would just make it a nanny state and everybody would rely on the government. And I don't want to rely on the government. Okay, so that's the first thing. But I like everything he said. Of course, I want better life for everybody.
Yeah, man, of course.
Like that. But I don't agree with the space thing. Shout out to my man. The Earth is flat and stocks always goes up, says Lemon Family.
All right.
Guys, we're looking here pretty aggressively at CPHI. Current bar high is 155. We're showing a 54 seller. 157 high is the high of the day. There it is. 57 got touched. Let's see if we retrace here or we squeeze up. There's a seller at 58. There's like literally a seller at every level, man. Like, what's going on over here on this one? It's been a thick trade all day. I think that the money fills on this one have been the people who were smart enough to pick some up on the moves down. So that's how I'm going to start looking at this now, right? The problem is picking some up on the moves down sometimes gets you into a down halt, and that's something no one really wants to be caught in, at least not me. So we're going to keep an eye here on CPHI, looking at building this position, but I don't want to get caught in a down halt. So if it does flush anywhere close to limit down, I'm just going to stop out, and then we'll reset into area lows, Joey. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
Good stuff to hear, Farm Trader. Yeah, I think we're going to get a nice little, we're not going to call it a hardcore bounce, but an indecision print after some big volume go. Keep an eye out on this one because the NASDAQ signals are just getting blown past left, right, and center. So I have my eyes on SSPC here from a leverage product standpoint, looking for a move maybe back into the volume weighted average price if we're lucky enough. But someone just offloaded a boatload of inventory right here, which is insane. So interesting stuff. We talked about the 135 level on and on. I just didn't think that we were going to hold it. I don't care what the underwriters or anything along those lines. If price discovery is price discovery, and I think at some point we're going to head even lower here on SpaceX. You can just tell by the price action as well too. $100, man, I don't think that's like anything crazy away, and it's just unfortunate that people who've been buying this into the IPO, even including myself who put orders at 150 and 160, now I'm like $30 out of the money plus on this stuff. It's down 55%, so the actual stock itself has been cut in half. In the span of a couple of weeks there. So yeah, it is what it is, guys. Let's wait for a pullback here on SSPC, and then we're going to look to get involved for a move back and towards the volume weighted average price. The reason why I like this is because we can just use our previous high as an out there. All right. Brilliant. So let's pull it up over here and see what we got going on. Pullback. We're going to post up. Let's see if I get a rejected order. We're going to post up at 1611s. All right. 1611s. Oh, no.
You want me to take over?
No.
Okay.
Let's see if this works here. I got to set up the Amex key. Oh, it's so frustrating, man.
I can take over, brother, while you set that up.
Yeah, anyways. Yeah, well, I'll just wait till 1611. If it comes back there, and then I'll just punch and pray. So I will, I'll do that. I don't know if you have anything going on, but yeah, Tesla putting in a new low of the day. NVDA is now down 2.25. Good opportunity for me to buy a little bit more. Google still holding on to positivity. Apple actually up 4%. So going off of the overall market. Same thing with goggles over here, Sharif. Wish we owned more of that. I couldn't be happier with myself with that 350 dip buy. And then also, hey, Google up. I have more SpaceX than I do have Google, which is shame on me. But hey, it is what it is, and we'll take it for what it is. But 13% to the downside in SK Hynix. See you later. What was ever going on yesterday, Sharif? DRAM down, Western Digital, SanDisk. SanDisk down 15%. Holy smokes. That's crazy. Yeah, support levels being broken. And look at this from a daily, guys. Watch out for this to be breached, man. Start slow. If you're looking to buy some of this stuff, be patient. Oh, I caught it. Ha ha.
No way. Attaboy.
I told you.
Attaboy. Go wash your hands down, Joey. Come on now, man. Yeah, but that's sick, bro. You need chopsticks.
I know,
like,
man. I tell you, it's the
So,
boxing.
Adam,
like,
we're rotating at 1,670 kilometers per hour, and we're moving through space, the vacuum of space, at 107,000 kilometers per hour. Thanks, Gemini. This is responding, of course, to Adam's $5 super chat. A version of the spelling NASA is to deceive in Hebrew. Also, we don't live on a giant ball spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, careening through an endless vacuum. Yes, Thea. Yeah. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinions, Thea, right? Like,
Absolutely.
what do you have to say?
What am I supposed to do?
You know,
What am I supposed to
moon
do?
landing probably didn't happen, right?
Hey?
What do you say?
Nothing. I'm kidding.
Say it again. No, I actually didn't hear
That
what you
was a
said.
joke. Neil just turned around. I would like to say that was a joke. The moon landing happened. Whoever thinks otherwise is weird.
I agree.
I don't even know. I don't.
Moon landing, she said. Moon landing, it happened.
Oh, the moon landing didn't
think
happen.
otherwise.
Oh.
Yeah. Whatever. Why you didn't comment on the first one, says Clutch One. Which one, brother? Tag me again. I didn't see it.
But Neil thinks moon landing fake too?
No,
Oh,
he
okay.
does
Whoa,
not.
sorry, man. Yeah. I was gonna say. I thought you were a big
no.
space guy, my boy. Sorry.
Oh,
Geez.
my days.
My bad, bro.
I don't know how to say this. Todd, Sharif, does the Mag 7 chart look like distribution is happening? Let's look at MA. You're talking about MAGS, I'm assuming. Let's have a look. Distribution, he says. On the daily, I'm assuming, Todd? Is that what you're saying? Right now, it just seems like it's in a bit of a consolidation mode. What I do like are the higher lows. This is MAGZ. Like, there's clearly a seller in and around 70, right? Every time we pop up into 70, we're met with some resistance. But we've got a $69 high today. I like the higher lows on MAGS, Todd. I don't think that this is an accumulation. It could be, right? It could be a sideways price chop. We know, obviously, is, the typical chart pattern that we get when a name is building into its valuation, right? Into its current fundamentals. So we'll have to see exactly what we get there, but I don't personally see a distribution. Now, I just want to point out for anybody asking why the NQ is negative and the MAG, for the exception, of course, of Tesla and Nvidia, are all positive. It's because of this. A sea of red under my semis microchip watch list, which is quite extensive. These are just semis.
Bro, there's not a green.
There's not one. There was PI,
Yeah.
which is Impinj, which is down 17 and 4/5 on the year. It was flat. It was green. Now it's down 1.13. Even my coveted ASML is down 2%. Getting clipped today are all the semis. Nobody's being spared here, at least from what I see. So keep an eye out on that, guys. I'm not, I don't have anything at the moment, guys, because we are selling off again on CPHI. I'm not going to buy this dip. We did get a nice move into 160, but we got stopped out as this one failed the low. And here comes $1. Again, it's going to hold down at 109. Limit down triggered here on 109er. Yeah, that's the kind of price action we've got on the small caps today. There is this one, though, for anybody who's interested. MUZ continues to put in higher highs and higher lows. And every dip trade into the 10 EMA and the 5 has been bought up. So MUZ in focus, but I haven't had a trade on that. And yeah, it's a choppy bunch today, man. So
yeah, most definitely, brother. That's why I haven't even taken on any other positions, right? I'm looking for that opportunity in this pullback back into 1611, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it right at this second. Now, there are some prints starting to display themselves on Bitcoin, right? But it's like, what are we even doing looking at Bitcoin when it's been weak for quite some time? So maybe a slight rotation. How much time left on this 5-minute candle? 2 minutes approximately, a little bit less. So we'll keep our eye out. If this closes and we're holding through these support levels, then maybe we can find an opportunity and look for some relative strength, because it's clearly not in some of these tech names today. We were up over a percentage point in some of them. Now we're down 2%. You went through Sharif's Red Sea over there, and it's just like double digits across the board in a lot of these memory names. DRAM down 10%, SK Hynix 13%. I know SanDisk, Western Digital, and Dell, everyone's down 14%, 10%, and 13% respectively. So there's a lot of not so good going on. But hey, on the bright side, Salesforce is up 1/3%. So I mean, here at the end of the day, there is some signs of strength, obviously being sarcastic there. You'd have to look in some of these. Alibaba up 5%. Okay. Sean, shout out to that. He was like an Alibaba at those levels. Now we have the airlines actually performing really well. And
are they?
Yeah, Lyft is doing good today. Sharif, Lyft is up 4.6%. Dash is up 2.8%. Delta Airlines is up 3/4. Boeing is down.
Your consumer defensives are doing good. You're about that. Like Target's up almost 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, Target is almost up 4. Yeah. And Walmart and Costco, respectively, up 3/4 and about 1/3. So, I mean, you're seeing that rotation in full effect here today, and the banks are doing pretty good.
Intel just lost $100.
JP Morgan, yeah, I seen that coming a mile away, man. When just up too quick,
Might be a buy, man.
Too quick. Everything was just too fast, man. And that's what the market does, right? We exaggerate in both directions. You just have to be patient. From what I've learned, listen, by all means, I've only been doing this for 5 years now, and I mean, like, that's not a lot. The guys to my right have been doing it for significantly more. Oh, yeah. And with that, I think a lot of people can agree you can't buy experience, and you can't buy some of the market cycles. But hey, one thing that I've taken from what I've seen in my short duration is that, man, whatever goes up really fast and furious tends to come down relatively the same, man. And it's like, that's not fun. Well, hey, so yeah, it is what it is. I think as a collective unit, including myself and everyone in the chat, is that I think patience is really, really key. And we know that Wall Street is always looking at it as the long-term game. So I think it's important for us to do the exact same thing, to be honest with you, and just learn from our previous mistakes.
All right, I think we got to go to Adara.
Do we?
Yep.
I never got that.
See ya. Excuse me.
The IWM is up 0.21%. Let's make this a quick and short segment, just like the small caps are. UAMY, United States Antimony Corp, down almost 9% on the day. SPCE, Virgin Galactic Holdings, up almost 3% on a 12-month price target cut to $3.27 from $3.51. STAK Stack Inc. is down 11.21%, just momentum here, nothing crazy going on. FTRK is down almost 2% on the day. So Fast Track Group has secured a strategic capital deal to support the next phase of entertainment and media growth for the company.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
John Deesk, the internet is fake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
God.
It's
we're
not really streaming. There's my man Eduardo, Mr. Gray, formerly something. Shout out to my man who introduced himself formally on the gram. Shout out to you, Mr. Gray, formerly. Sharif, Joe, holla, skip the pool for the beach. I hate this guy.
Who said
Come
that?
on, just turning in. Surf is great. No trades today. Sandwich and sunshine. Cheers, boys. Man, I hate you, man. Come on, man.
Who said that?
That's Mr. Gray. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We can't say that. But he's
at the
great,
beach
bro.
right now, right?
He's great. He added me on the gram yesterday. We were talking back and forth. Great guy, man.
Oh, yeah?
Biceps are fake, says Drew Farrell. It's all fake, baby.
Man.
FIFA is fake. It's all fake.
What was that one stuff? You know that Russian guy? He was just pumping that, like that oil substance.
Synthol.
Yeah.
Synthanol? How do you say it?
People do that? Yeah.
I don't know, bro, why they do that. It's kind of, that's fake.
Obviously.
Fake. You know, they have to have surgery after that to remove it.
Yeah,
and
then
crazy,
it destroys your body. Like, I'm pretty sure that guy's dead, to be honest with you. Oh, you see that one, remember that one fitness influencer who kind of lost his mind? He died last week. I can't remember his name.
Who are we talking about, brother?
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of them. I was going to tell you, I was going to message it to you, but yeah, he died not too long ago. He was like he did that like 32-day watermelon fast, and he was just, Connor Murphy.
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
Once you
see his face.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you see his face, you'll notice it. But yeah, he lost his marbles, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. And
here he is. Yeah, this is the guy?
You would recognize
This is the guy?
Yeah.
He passed away?
Yeah, he died in Thailand. He was running from the police.
Oh, my days.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I hope his family's okay, man.
Yeah, man.
Guys, I really do not have anything here. There is nothing that I like at the moment. There really isn't. Save and except for MUZ and this one, it's right at that critical level. I need a pullback on MUZ, MUZ, whatever, into the $0.25, the third of a dollar to get involved, to just touch 15.50. Everything else I do not like. Nothing is setting up for me. CPHI is losing the bid. JLHL is below VWAP. Likewise with SOBR, it was a look at this. I yelled, bull trap, bull trap, bull trap. This is as bull trap as it gets. These chart patterns are deadly, and they've been this way for months now. I've been seeing the same chart pattern manifest over and over, prolonged downtrends, breakout, loses the bid. It's kind of like, why am I not trading these to the short side? I really should. In any event, ELVA below VWAP, LCID straddling the 20, but having trouble clearing the $0.50. So I'm not liking anything, but if there's anything that that I've missed there, Sam says COTY. Let's take a look at COTY. Yeah, not bad, Sam. A good chart pattern, but selling off the highs. Also relatively low volume. 2.44 million shares has done about 5.88 million shares on the day. $2.44 is the price. So not bad, COTY. You could pick this up off VWAP maybe for a nice bounce, but you're going to need to size up here because you're not getting much in the way of a move price action-wise, right? We're at 250 high, VWAP's at 241. So assuming you just get back into highs, that's 9 pennies. So you got to size up there to make money on 9 pennies, right? So thank you for that. Tag me, guys, if there are any other ones here. Just before we get to that super, we're seeing NVVE be called out in the chat. Let me have a look there. Yeah, trading below VWAP as well, up nicely on the day, 50 some odd percent, right? 57.5%. But take a gander here, man, at the trend. Yeah, sure, we closed out at around 15 3/4. We got to 35.79, but it's been prolonged downtrend ever since that topping tail doji candle at 10:20 a.m. Hasn't been anything different. Chain Reactor. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I work somewhere in the space race. I work somewhere in the space race, a stock that is dropping today. Hint, I would watch LAES stock very closely. I really like this. I feel like I'm getting insider information, yet I don't even know what's being said. Yeah. Right? Let's look at LAES. I like this. I like this very much. Okay. So LAES has been an aggressive sell, and you're obviously talking about another space name. How are we looking here on the hourly on LAES? Well, we're coming into a very critical area of resistance. Support. Look at that May 19th low. The low there is 265. The low today, 259. That's incorrect. So the low there is 256. 256, yes, 256. The low today, 259. So we are right there in terms of support. Good call out on that. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it. Watch Lace blast off in the next 24 hours, says Chain Reactor.
I don't know about that, man.
Well, you never really know, Joe. Maybe I'll just buy 100 shares.
Of Lace?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Buy 100 shares, and then put a stop through 250. Right? We'll risk. What are you risking? You're risking 10 pennies on that. That's $10.
This is space name, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know about that, man. I think the space sector is
cooked.
Going to be. No, I'm not saying it's cooked, but I think it's a lot like Bitcoin, right? Like if the leader in the sector isn't moving, then I think the other names within it might struggle a little bit.
Well, what is the headline here? Yeah. Grunfeld says the Lace CEO went to SpaceX today. Okay. Interesting. I'm not seeing anything from today, but I saw some entries from yesterday on my blotter. Nothing new for LAES today, though. There was this, right? So press release, Seals Q, L5, Assassino, if we can. leading developer. What is this? To partner with develop secure multi-package Internet of Things module for smart cameras and smart metering. Go ahead, Adair.
I can confirm that the CEO went to SpaceX today.
Thank you, Adair, for that. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't even have that on my blotter, to be honest with you, unless they entered it earlier and it didn't show up. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Grunfeld. Kilgore Trout 001 Sharif, my pool billiards buddy works on Moonlander engines. Can't wait to talk to him. Thank you for being the voice of reason. Adam James Abroad, Sharif's muscles are fake 3D printed bodysuit. I can confirm that as well, right?
Man.
3D printer. You're on that bandwagon?
No, I was going to ask you
printer?
If I could borrow yours, maybe.
Yeah? I charge it out, baby.
Whoa,
I
even
rent it
to
out.
me?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Talk about a rate. We can get a discount.
Would I get a 3D printer? Hell yeah.
I love that.
I would absolutely definitely get a 3D printer.
Joey, people are saying GUTS, guts is moving. Let's have a look at guts. Oh, okay. We got a candidate here, especially now that it's hanging out at this $1. You're killing me, Lemon Family. Stop distracting me. I'm trying to do this chart analysis. GUTS, Joseph Options, breaking out through the dollar area. It is at 101 with a 102 high. Be on the lookout here because this is a critical area for these ones that are coming from the south of the dollar. It's after a bit of a different trade, north and south. So on the lookout here, GUTS, thank you for this one. Didn't have eyes on it. It's definitely on my radar now.
Yeah. I've traded Bitcoin. Good thing that we've went small on this. I traded Bitcoin twice in the past couple of days and gone over 2. We've been good on everything else. So you know what it is, Sharif, right? You know what I typically say? It's AC Slater to Bitcoin. I don't want to look at this thing anymore for quite some time. I just don't think it's in play. As it didn't hold up, it's just breaking down with the overall market as we establish some new lows. Should just stick with the TQQQ. So therefore, as Sharif would like to say, it's losing its spot on the Covenant side chart, and I'm going to remove it off of every aspect because why are we going to take our own little loss? I'm like, what am I doing trading Bitcoin anyways? It's crazy with the amount of size that you put on and you just take a loss. That's what makes trading so difficult sometimes. It's just like within these positions, significantly more size, and you take some off, but then you take a full position size stop loss on something, and it's just like, all right, well, there's a third of your gains right there on a fraction of the size, which is absolutely insane. But Bitcoin absolutely going slide city right now. We'll head over to SpaceX and see now because it's in the NASDAQ, so it's going to have some effect. It's one of the top names, so whatever happens in SpaceX and some of these other mega cap names, you're going to see that directly affected within the triple Qs, all right? I'm all in IBIT. Like a short, I don't know, man. If you're short, then by all means, I hope you're doing good there. My guy, time to Christian Bale on that one. Yeah, absolutely. We got Christian Bale on that IBIT trade. You can get that off of all of our charts, but here it is. I mean, we took 2 losses here on the day. And we took 3 small wins. We're fortunate to remain on the green side of things, and we're going to be patient. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's what the risk to reward is key. That's why Neil goes over his lessons, and it's really important to know. You got to get out when you're supposed to get out, and we did that exactly.
My man.
On IBIT. Like, imagine I'm still holding on to this. Like, I tried to give it a little bit of room, too. I didn't try. I did. I gave it some room. And then, boom, look at this. It drops another 7-8 cents. So it's just like, see you later. SanDisk absolutely just, it's hemorrhage. It's not even that, man. It's just bleeding profusely at this moment, Sharif. So is the overall market. And SpaceX is probably going to crack $130 relatively soon here, in my opinion. Let's go over to the
just 1 second. Yeah. Evercore putting out an interesting statement here, pushing back on the AI infra sell-off. So I'm going to post it in the chat. And then you guys can have a read through there because on a day like this, when you've got semis just getting destroyed, like look at this, AAOI 15%, Lumentum 12, SK Hynix 13.5, Western Digital 11 2/3, SNDK 15.5, Micron 10 4/5. I mean, and those are just the worst of the bunch. Cerebras, oh my days, down 10 1/3, and you have high single digits. Marvell, 9.5% on Novell, man. Broadcom is flat, guys. Flat, 0.42. So keep your eye out on that. That's an interesting convergence or divergence there.
So my thing's not split adjusted. So I know you, listen, I might be gaining some ground here, Fabian. I don't know if you're updating this stuff, but my CrowdStrike should be split adjusted here, man. Oh, he's not even here. I'm talking to myself there. So yeah, it's always good times talking to yourself.
Let's send it to Sia.
Yeah, we'll go over to Sia.
Yeah.
The SPY is currently down 0.19%. Let's take a look at what is going on with the sectors right now. Electric tech, we have NVIDIA, who was a bull yesterday, currently being the bear of the day, I would say, down 2.5%. Apple up 4.1% at the moment. AVG was flat, but some of the chip stocks still continuing to slide. MU down 11%, AMD down very close to 7%, INTC is down very close to 8%. You have Cisco down 5%, and SNDK looking really bad here, down 15.3% at the moment, and Dell also down 14%. You have ANET down 8.5% at the moment. Tech services, you have Google, Microsoft, Meta looking pretty good on the day. Meta is up close to 3%. Good look on Meta over here today. Google is up, again, close to 4% on the day. Microsoft up very close to 3%. Oracle also up 3.3%. Palantir is flat. Netflix up 1%. PANW technically a bit flat, but dodging towards a bit the green side, up 0.68% at the moment. IBM's down to 2% at the moment. Finance, you have BRKB and MasterCard flat at the moment, but JPM up a little over 1%. Visa is up 0.67%, and BAC up 1.2%. You have Citi also flat on the day. MS down 0.94 over here. Sorry. You have Morgan Stanley, down very close to 1%. They reported today. You have Robinhood also looking pretty flat over here. I'm so sorry about that, trying to read. PGR down heavily, close to 8% today on the day. Retail trade, you have Amazon up 3.5%. Walmart up as well. Costco, however, trading flat at the moment. Home Depot is up 1.7%, followed by TJX up 0.60%, very close to 0.60% right now. Producer manufacturing looking a bit towards the red today, with only two names in the green. AMAT is down 7, very close to 6.2%, apologize. CAT down 4.4, and LRCX down 7.3%, with GEV down 5.4% at the moment. Consumer non-durables, you have KO trading flat at the moment. PG up 1.5%. PM is up 2%, and PEP trading flat as well. Health tech, you have J&J reported today, but seems to have reversed all of the gains that it made earlier in the earlier trading session, down 0.93, very close to down 1% today. Lilly is also down very close to 1%. ABBV is up close to 1%, and MRK up 2.3%. Consumer durables, you have Tesla up 1.2% on the day. Rest of the sector looks a little bit of a mix over here, with Ford up 1.7%. And process industries, utilities, industrial services, all combined a bit flat, but industrial services looking a bit of a drag down today. You have PWR down over 3.5%. FIX down 5.2% on the day as well. Consumer services, you have McDonald's trading flat, Disney in the green. You have BKNG also in the green. RCL up 3% on the day. Commercial services looking pretty good here. SPGI also good. MCO up 2.9% as well. Transportation, finally, UNP is down 0.68%, but Uber's up 2%. And you have LUV up 3%, FedEx up 1%. And that's all for your sector was, sending it to Adara.
Trump here in Truth Social, and he's weighing in on data centers, specifically a decision made by the governor of New York State, Kathy Hochul, yesterday on data centers. Quote, one of the biggest driving forces in the future for jobs are data centers. They are big, strong, bold, and money machines, capital M for both, for the state in which they are built. Governor Kathy Hochul, for political reasons, has terminated all data centers being built or to be built in New York State. These companies are now being sought in Alabama, Florida, Texas, Arizona, and many other states. He's just basically talking here as well about the jobs and taxes being, quote, all caps, liquid gold, and criticizing New York's decision, saying they should change the policy immediately. I believe as well here, my understanding of this is it's not all data centers, it's certain data centers. I would need to read into more into that again. But either way here, President Trump criticizing that executive order yesterday from the state of New York, specifically on data centers. Not sure if it's going to be a massive market moving thing here, but I think something to be aware of given the data center emphasis. Back to you.
Yeah, that was an interesting development with Governor Hochul yesterday in the moratorium. I don't think there's a lot of people flocking to New York to build data centers anyway, to be quite honest with you. I think that they're going to look for more energy-friendly jurisdictions, and I don't think New York is that. So, political posturing? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Guys, anyway, the note that I was speaking there about earlier, let me just see who was by again, because I did put that in a doc that you can go and you can read. So I'm going to throw that link in the chat. You can go ahead and click that. It's a Google Doc file that I've made available for everybody. So if you want to read exactly, see what they have to say about optical connections and everything like that, you go ahead. It's available for everybody to read right there. Miami Dave, great show today. Everyone, per usual, I appreciate everything y'all do. I'm learning, having fun, and making money. Big shout out to the whole TTV Live crew. Keep killing it. CPHI, LFG, my man. Shout out to Miami Dave.
Miami, man.
I like when people associate their names with their cities there. I like that a lot.
Jurisdiction.
Mac them all.
Dade County.
Mac them all.
All right.
You have all helped me on TikTok, by the way. Thank you for our TikTok viewers as well. You have all helped me so much over the years. Always will support you. Thank you very much for the kind words, man. Hope you continue to print up storms on your side of the screen and stick with us because we're always going to give you our unadulterated opinion. David.
What's David saying?
What happened? First of all, thank you for the 5 super. What happened to semis today? CoreWeave is exploring put options to hedge against their locked-in ingredients costs of semiconductors. Price will fall. That is a great observation there. You want to cover some of the semis? Because I said a lot about them.
Okay, so I think this is really important to note. So we seen yesterday, and I think a lot of us can agree on this. So we seen yesterday, and I'm just going to look at this from an options perspective, okay? We seen the semis climb some of the strongest, but then they get hit the heaviest, all right? So there's two sides to this coin. Now, I'm going to look at this from an options perspective because why this can show us where some of the larger participants are placing their bets. Now, on yesterday's session, bright and early this morning, we were above 213. But what happened with the downward pressure? And I'm going to tell you this. From my experiences, I was just going on my spiel not too long ago, is that we had an insane amount of size that is no longer really there because people got decimated. It's actually increases. I'm going to eat those words really quick. So you have the market makers on the opposite sides of some of these long bets for the individuals who are buying these contracts. I said by the end of the week, we're most likely going to close below 210, and I stick by that thesis. Why? Because we have all of this gamma exposure and all short contracts that are now worth $1.30 at this point, going to expire worthless. Now, we've done this on multiple occasions, and that's been the case. Now, I also referred to this time about 6-7 months ago when we were talking about NVDA. There is too much downward pressure and short interest in order for us to continuously and hold these levels. Now, it happened yesterday. We held it for the span of a couple of hours, and then now we're trading at $4 or $6 off of the highs, all right? So 210 south of that could be a good options writing opportunity if you're into that world. I know Ozan's writing those. Now let's actually pull up these contracts so you can see the volume from which they've increased and then decreased over the past 24 hours, all right? So what we'll do is we'll pull up a 30-minute chart. There goes, wow, market going nuts, something stepping in T-triple Qs with something there, guys. Volatility spike, somebody saying something. Maybe we're reacting to what Donald Trump has to say, late reaction, but the NASDAQ decided to go parabolic. But look at these contracts specifically here on NVDA. Climbed to a high of around $4.48, just trapping all of these bulls who decide to buy things up here. And then after you're writing, to the tune where you lose the majority of that value of that contract, and then you just hold them and allow them to expire worthless. We have a massive volatility spike stepping in here, guys. Let's pull up. Let's see what we got going on. You can see the volume kicking in. Let me know if you guys see anything. Adara and Sierra on it. You guys know how we rock and roll. And let's pull up NVDA to see if that was translated into some of these chip names. Let's send it over to Adara. We need to know what's going on.
I still don't have anything yet, guys. Trump didn't post anything. I am going to mention one thing that did pop up, and if we get any news while I'm here, I'll let you guys know, but I'm not sure if we will get anything. Ming-Chi Kuo basically just went on X to brag about how his stock call on Apple about it being positive after WWDC was correct, and it's at all-time highs. And this is, again, rarely something you see from Ming-Chi Kuo, noted supply chain analyst, but I guess his bullishness on Apple paid off. That's all I'm seeing. Apparently, this actually could be of note, but this would be more crypto. Seeing reports from Politico reporting here that several senators are going to be meeting with President Trump at the White House on Thursday afternoon to discuss progress on a sweeping cryptocurrency regulatory bill. If you get any more details here, I'll let you know. Could be Clarity Act related. I'm going to see if I can find this article, but nothing on the overall market as of yet. Back to you.
Very much. Maybe something will come in here momentarily. I know a lot of people saying just a volume spike with Algo stepping in, putting in that bottom. We have PSYOPs saying RIP crypto. I think it's been RIP crypto for quite some time, man. We can pull up Bitcoin right now and see what we got going on IBIT and via Ethereum. We got to call Tom Lee for our boy Sharif and see what's up with there. I got to call Sailor as well too, and maybe they deserve to something a little of that for doing what they did. But anyways, aside from that, we're gonna send it over to Sia in 1 second. We're gonna look at Bitcoin first before we do cryptocurrency and see if we're going to continue to slide on this. I mean, no, it's not too bad here today. It is finding somewhat of a rebound here in BTC. See ya.
Let's talk money market. So the Bank of Canada has left its benchmark overnight rate change to 2.25% as of today. So they've predicted the economy will grow by 2.25% on an annualized basis in the second quarter after grinding to a halt in the first quarter amid certain disruptions by the Middle East conflict, also uncertainty over the U.S. trade policy. Let's check what the dollar is doing right now. Currently down on the day, 0.25%, slipped against major currencies today after softer than expected U.S. producer prices have also reinforced certain signs of easing inflation, pushing the view that the Federal Reserve can remain patient on these interest rates, even as the investors are weighing in on renewed strikes on Iran. Also, finally, let's take a look at the Indian rupee. So central bank data has showed today that India's balance of payments as the BOP has remained in a deficit in the second consecutive month in May. Capital outflows have added to the pressure of the current account deficit. So with that, the rupee up very little, but 0.06% at the moment.
All right, Joey. So we're in 2H, second half of 2025.
Yeah, 6.
Quicks. Sorry.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's time to do our picks.
We're doing that?
We got to do it.
But I'm not prepared for this.
You're not prepared?
No.
Fabian didn't give you homework yesterday?
He did, but I got other things. All right, we could do it, man. I'll pick. We could. How can you see me? Those are from.
Those are old ones?
Those are old ones, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're doing it again, Sia. Remember, because for the second half
Do you
of the
have yours?
Mine?
Do I have mine? I have 2.
Suppose so. You didn't do your homework. You got 3, man.
NASA and Netflix.
Short. Decided today is short. All right, There you go. All right, let's do it. Is that what Fabian said we're doing right now?
Well, Sia wants to do it before we get to the news segment.
We got Luis coming up in a span of 9.
We got Luis coming up, exactly.
Is Adara doing? Is Adara doing it too? Like,
I'm changing only one of my picks. I think you guys know one of the ones I'm for sure keeping. I'll leave the other one in terms of what I'm getting rid of and what I'm keeping and what the new one is.
So you can do that. We can roll over picks. Then
I was told I could.
Okay.
And I am going to roll over picks because I'm not letting go of the Oracle short.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna do by no means am I being any form of a party pooper, but I have conviction behind all 3 of those picks. So I'm actually by default gonna stick with what I've started with at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I truly like it. We got Walmart, JPM, everything is long, and CrowdStrike.
All 3 long.
All 3 of them.
You're just sticking with the same thing.
I'm sticking with all 3 of them. I'm sticking with all three. And I just stated, like, that's me being legit. That's me being legit. Like, I truly have conviction within all of those. Think about JP Morgan hitting all-time highs today. CrowdStrike hitting all-time highs. And then the only thing that's really lagging that I believe has found a bottom is Walmart. So yeah, I'm gonna rock and roll and keep with those same three.
All right, I've got two that we can do, and then I can get one for tomorrow. I'd like to keep a long, obviously, because both of these are short. So I'm just gonna say Netflix short and NASA short. I like the chart patterns. I'm not looking at it more than that. I'm not really looking into the fundamentals of Netflix. And hey, let's see what happens with that. I'll have another one for tomorrow. Let me think about a long one. How about you, Sia? Absolutely.
Sorry?
How about you, Sia? What do you got?
I'm looking from an investment point of view more than trading here.
Sure.
But
That's the point, I think.
picked JPM, BE, and
Long?
NVIDIA.
BE, JPM, and NVIDIA.
Yeah.
All right, those are good picks, man. There we go. So I'm sending it to you now, Fabian. Short, and then I'll send you the third, hopefully tomorrow. All right, guys. Wow, it is a light bunch, guys. It has not been this light of a day in small cap gap or world, I think, in a while. At least not for me, anyway. But here comes ELVA. We were talking about this one, 4 area lows, and it's bouncing up quite nicely off that 11.25. Let's just say maybe 11 and change. Here comes 1177, where it's had trouble earlier on. It did breach VWAP on a wick basis, and a wick basis only, failing, but maintaining that higher low pattern. And here we go, 1180. Have we breached prior area high? The answer is yes, because prior area high was 1178. We're definitely not out of the water. This current candle high is 1184. We have $12 resistance, and then the high of the day at 1230, still with which to contend. So ELVA in focus, but I don't think it's ready quite yet. SOBR is really bleeding, and I really want to point out this area over here because we called it out live. I told y'all, be careful. This is a bull trap. This is as bull trap as it gets in small cap gapper world. This is such a repeat pattern that we see so often. So watch this one, possibly into 155, maybe even 150. Show me 171 right now, SOBR. But Adam James Abroad was telling me to look at GRRR, GRR. That's one that we've, traded before in small cap gapper world. It's down 26.5% today. Look at the lack of a bid on this one. 1740 high, closed out yesterday around 16.75, Adam. And now currently we have an 1194 low showing 1230 right now. So all red here on GRRR. And I don't really see quite, frankly, let me just make sure that, yeah, here it is. $125 million senior unsecured convertible bond offering for Gorilla Technology, GRRR. An offering that'll usually get you that kind of price action right from the jump, 945. This one was all sorts of weak. They did, this headline did come out right at 945. So the second this came out, the algos reacted, and then they pushed this one all the way down. So I do see that, Adam, but not, in my wheelhouse to trade something like that. Ben Kua, check out StepX and NIO from China. NIO? Like NIO, NIO? NIO's trading at $5. What was the other one that you just said there? There's a fly there, Joey. I almost had it. StepX, STEPX, 5-letter ticker. No, get away from me, bro.
Catch it, man.
No, man. Trying to should kill it. Got to get one of those things to swat it with. I'm not seeing that one. Tag me again, Ben Cush. Grunfeld, NBIS long, NBIG for small caps at VWAP. Good call. Let's look at NBIG. That's assuming the ETF. NBIG, that's for small cap, 2 times NBIS. Yes, 1850 VWAP here. This is very lightly traded, so I want to look at NBIS instead. So yeah, here, same chart pattern. VWAP rejection here on Nebius. Watch out. They had a headline in the morning, by the way. Looks like this prior bar high got into 196. Current bar high about to fail prior bar low, and this could be the rejection. So prior bar low is 194.39. We're currently showing 194.24, so we already failed it. Watch for the reversion here. We could certainly see something in and around 190, if not more, right? So good call out there by Grunfeld. NBIS selling off a little bit here to the downside. What else? Adam James Abroad, you mad, bro? No, I'm not. About GRRR? Not at all, brother. I mean, I don't have anything in GRRR, but you know, I can get mad if you want. I can pretend like I'm mad about it. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got, man. Joey, I hate to keep saying the same thing, and I do apologize for those who have tuned in, but I don't like anything at the moment. Nothing is setting up the way that I like. I'm going to keep a close eye on ELVA. That's really the biggest candidate that I have for a possible break and take at the moment. It's really got to clear some levels for me to get involved, but I've got my eye on it.
Fabian switching things up. I'm over here looking at the portfolio tracker. There's a name on here, Sharif. Well, I don't know why we haven't discussed this or asked this individual. Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany made picks?
List. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your picks. I want to know. I want to hear this, Sharif. I don't know about you, but I'm intrigued.
I like all of her picks.
Every single
one of her picks.
But the one I'm most interested about here is the bottom one. We're not going to give any names away. Tiffany, why did you pick this one specifically?
It's the most important one, man. Well, there she comes. Get it, Tiffany.
The final one. I don't want to give it away, but it starts with a T.
Oh, TSM?
Yeah. Tell us about that one there. Why did you pick this specifically?
Bro, this fly is annoying me.
I have no idea.
I
know nothing about stocks. I just went on Yahoo and just like researched it.
You just researched it? All right, we'll take it. Hey, we know sometimes when we're just like, hey, we don't really know, but everyone else likes it. You do your best. I like that one. It is time. Tiffany has Taiwan Semiconductor, Apple, and NVDA. Man, who? Fabian did?
Fabian did? Fabian, you dirty dog.
Fabian also has, get out of here, Fabian. This is getting absolutely insane here now. Fabian with ASML, Broadcom, and TSM.
I like all of those.
This is getting crazy.
I like all of those.
All right.
Ram.
What does Ramin have here?
Is she there?
She's not in. He doesn't have her picks.
You guys should just heard the way she answered me. She was so annoyed. Ram, did you make picks?
How does chat get defaulted to SpaceX, NVDA, and Micron though? Yo, get Fabian out of here. No, get Mateo.
Get Fabian out of here. Why? Because he has good picks?
No, I didn't.
What's the problem,
No,
Joey?
I didn't mean to say Fabian. I was going to say my boy Mateo. Get Mateo out of here. If you finish
if he buys more concrete stocks, I'm going to run into the wall.
With Mateo, if you finish bottom two, did you record the previous ones, Fabian? Did you record the previous ones? Where?
Scroll down, Joey.
Scroll down there.
Yeah.
I finished?
Fabian
no, that's
flew
not it. What are you talking
here.
about, bro?
Days.
Do you want to see the
very
old
fast.
year?
Yeah.
Where is it? Right here. Look at the top.
Yeah, picks.
Get him, Fabian.
Right
Halfway
there.
picks?
Yeah, do you want this year?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
from the
yeah.
beginning of the year, this is what we have. But
Listen, I'm going to say this right now. You give me
What are you
another
gonna say,
couple
Joey?
you give me another couple of weeks, your boy would have finished first. And you know what I did when I said, watch out this.
Show him, Joey.
Jude. But anyways, aside,
That's so good, dude.
you know what I mean? But no, in all seriousness, some hot picks there. Let's go back over to what we got the halfway
she's
pick.
so mean,
Who,
bro.
Ramin? What'd she say now?
Look at her when she's talking to people in the chat, man.
Yeah, you got that. Look
at her, bro.
The sassitude, we call it there. Sassitude. Yeah, who else? We got Sia with BE, JP Morgan, and NVDA. Listen, there's a lot of overlapping picks here.
Bro.
But what I was getting at here with Mateo, you finished bottom two. You should be eliminated from the competition. In my opinion, that is. We got Brando with Tesla. Where's yours? Where's yours, Andre? AMD. And what is this even here?
Embriar, bro.
That's
That's a Brazilian company.
Brazilian.
Don't dunk on his Brazilian company like that,
Get that garbage out of here.
Come
and the Eli Lilly down there with, some hot picks, but what I wanted to get at here with Neil, XLF, going with the XLF, the financials, ABBV, and Warner. How are you going with Warner Brothers? They're getting bought out.
Maybe he likes them.
Are we allowed to pick stocks that are not on the NYSE? I didn't know that on NASDAQ. Really?
What do you mean? You just picked multiple names that aren't on the NYSE.
In North American markets, I think.
American markets, stock markets. Okay, great. I will change one ticker.
Whoa!
Oh, are you going to get a Nifty 50 one?
I'm probably going to put Tata on there. Yeah.
Is that on the Nifty? That is on the
Yeah,
Nifty.
it
I'm
is.
pretty sure it is, yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Free money across the board here.
You're just dunking on all these companies like that.
Man,
What's happening here, bro?
That's what happens, man.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But hey, Liz,
companies,
I'm obviously playing around, bro.
Oh my days.
No, some good stuff there. But Sharif with the dual short on that one there.
Yeah, we'll throw that on there,
some
man. Who
Interesting
cares?
stuff, man.
Yeah, look, I don't, but I love space, right?
Yeah.
But I think
It's
in the
just
short term,
it's not the
cooked
time
a
right
little
now.
bit,
It's
but
not the time
we'll
right
see. That doesn't change any of my thesis on SpaceX in the long run. I'm going to be buying this little by little, right? I mean, that's my long-term portfolio. I'm not looking to cash in on this money at all at the moment, guys. So,
Okay.
Couture dropping 5 nice ones in the chat. Thank him for that. Stumbled upon this stream a few months ago. I've had you guys on live every day. I've traded since. You guys got me saying, "Oh my days," all the time. Love to hear it, man. That Joey started that, man. I gotta give him credit for that. I used to say it all the time in England, man, because that's what they say over there, right? Like, "Oh my days." So yeah, thank you for joining us, Couture, and thank you for the super chat, of course, and stick with us, man.
We got David.
Not every
super
day
chat,
is as
too.
slow as this, obviously.
Yeah, today really slow, man.
Yeah, David's David, $10 super chat. Please put me in the spreadsheet. Love the energy there. Starting today, if evenly split 3 ways. Oh, I already like the first one.
Yeah.
And W.
Yeah, nice.
QURE and VSAT.
Yeah.
See ya in my rear view mirror. He's already dunking on us, Joey.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man.
Listen,
I hope
suggested this. I would say, like, hey, make it a massive pool and do it over a month, but do an actual buy-in. So we'll do it cheap. Like, so say if you wanted to get involved, $20, it goes into a pool, and then you have a first, second, and third placement. So I believe that we should do that just to get everyone engaged.
I don't mind that at all.
And that would
man.
actually rock and roll,
Get
right?
Luis to chime in.
We get
too,
Luis.
man.
We can get Luis to chime in here, but we got other things to talk about, Tree. But let us know if you'd be interested in that. We're gonna go over to Adair first.
We'll talk about a name here that is making a bit of a move. WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, CNN reporting that both WBD and PSKY are expecting there's going to be a delay in closing a deal between the two companies. Of course, PSKY wanting to acquire WBD here. Both companies reportedly expecting that delay. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that. All right, I think we got the man of the hour.
Yeah.
The man of the day. The man we all need to be congratulating because he stayed true to his team when we thought that the other team was going to win. Congratulations, Luis frickin' Barbado. What a performance from the Spaniards yesterday. Absolutely dominating the favorite French team. I was very impressed from everybody, man. From everybody. Rodri on the field looked like an absolute captain. Like, I hadn't seen him play like that, Luis, since before the injury at City. He looked fantastic. Who else can we correct? The Ozabayel guy, very good. Obviously, excellent penalty. You had everybody coming in. And a team, Luis, where Pedri can't make the starting 11, that really speaks to the depth. Give us your take on yesterday's game before we start these small cappers.
Well, what we were talking before the game, France has a very, very dangerous offense, but if they are not willing to run, to counterattack, if they don't have spaces in possession of the ball, they are not so dangerous because the midfielders are quite, allow them to run if they don't have a space for Mbappé, Dembélé, and all these say, if they do like, I don't know how it's called in English, like possession attack, like when you are defending down and not letting them spaces behind your back, they are not so dangerous. So I think that was very well studied by the coach. We have an amazing coach. We closed all the midfield. We overcrowded the midfield with the two side wings, with the two wings defenders and the two wing offense. So we closed the midfield. There was no space for them. Then if we have the ball, we are much better team than France.
No question about it. No question about it.
We have a much better midfielders. The two center defenders, they are better, the French ones. But if you count the four of them, we are better. We have amazing wings, and we have only conceded one goal in the World Cup. And what is more important, we only conceded 10 shots to the goal. 10 in the whole World Cup. So,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah. So
and I got to give credit to Unai Simon. The way he was coming out of the net yesterday, he almost looked like, that kind of sweeper keeper, which he's not known to do. So good on Unai Simon. I thought he played quite well, but I got to agree with you. I thought the fullbacks for France, Luca Digne obviously giving away the penalty, but they didn't look good at all. I felt the fullbacks were totally being exploited. You had you had Lamau on one side, obviously causing a lot of trouble for Dean. We saw him give away the penalty, but I think, you guys overwhelmed them in the way that you're saying. Your midfield absolutely dominated, but you were able to spread to the wings as well, right? So it wasn't just down the center of the field. So I really like that.
And they were running a lot, chasing shadows, chasing the ball. And why they stopped pressing? Because after 30 minutes chasing shadows, you are tired running behind the ball and not with the ball. So
exactly.
It was an unbelievable game. But the main point, as I say, is don't let them run. Don't let them run. If they don't run, they're done.
Well said. I'm not sure about that comment, though, Luis, about your center backs being in the French center backs. Aside from William Saliba, of course, going off injured, Saliba is one of the top guys, I think, in that position in the world. Same with Gabriel. But, you guys won. So you have that obviously to your advantage. Give us, before we get into the trades, Luis, give us your prediction for tonight. We got, of course, England and Argentina.
That's a tough call. Because it's all up to Messi. So if Messi wants to win this game and he is inspired, they might go through. They might get to the final. But it's a tough call. I would love Argentina to go to the final because, of course, here in Barcelona, we all love Messi very, very much. Love Messi more than many of your family members. So I would love for Messi, but as a rival, I would take England, of course. I think they're a little bit weaker for our kind of play, our kind of strategy. So
I like it. Zion Lala chiming in. I'm sorry, Luis. Argentina winning the trophy. Refs playing really good for Argentina. Great ad on for Argentina. LOL. I'm not saying that that's true, Luis. That was a super chat that just came in right now.
Luis, the only question I have is what was going on with the festivities last night, man? It's like you guys won the whole thing already. It looked like Spain was about to burn to the ground there. Everybody was going crazy.
Well, I think it was also because everyone gave France as a favorite,
Exactly.
So it tastes like even sweeter victory.
Bang. He just covered that.
That was pretty quick. That was done like that. So I don't even want to see what Spain's going to look like if they end up winning, who I personally will be cheering for. So vamos, España.
We already did in 2010. So let's see. Our second star.
Hey.
All right, Luis, look, it's been a tough day for longs in the small cap GAPA world. Everything is turning around, Luis, so this must be a day where you are really kept busy. CPHI failing, SOBR failing, ELVA. Well, I'm in it right now. It's trying to break out, but a lot of these didn't have continuation. Luis, give us your take on some of these names today.
Yeah, well, look at this. Let's see one of the yesterday's trade, so you guys understand what would be like the perfect setup to trade when we are short in a small cap. It was NXTC yesterday. Okay, so it opened up like in 3, I think. There you go, 3. It ran a lot in the pre-market, and you are not supposed to short this front side when it's running with buyers take the control of the stock, right? You might have tried the first one here with a tight stop. I didn't, but it was okay. Set up here, short here with a tight stop over these relative highs. I didn't short it. Here you have the same trade. It's the same trade. short here with a tight stop, short here. And here it kind of worked, although I had to stop out some of the trades, as you can see, but then I add more, and I add more, and I add more because we are trading backside. We are trading near to the VWAP. We are not losing VWAP yet. That would be the confirmation of the setup and where you might add into the position, but then you're shorting there all the way down backside, getting out here, stopping out the rest here, and adding again in this VWAP rejection. That is like the perfect setup if you are short selling a small cap like this one. And then you can check all the stocks today. Look, ERNA, the same. You don't short front side. We made here a couple of traders, we made the mistake of shorting this a little bit too early, around the $12, and it was almost to $13 because we have some resistance from previous days, as you can see here. But that's not like the perfect setup. You wait for the confirmation and then you go short, let's same trade as yesterday. You go short again, look at this, it's trading in $6 already from, let's say you go short like here in 10, 11, you add more in 9, you're making like $3, $4 per share. And that's like all of them. Look, cost. I have another one here, cost. The same. You don't short here front side, you wait, you short here, you add here, and you are like 30, 40% of the price in the money. Same same trade. Look at that. Unbelievable. We short this. We were talking about this pre-market. You can short it here with a stop in $37, $38. That was the first try because it might have worked, but you have to stop there because the next area is around this $48, $50 resistance. It failed there. You don't short that front side, can go to $100, but then you short backside here, you add more here, you add more here, and look, it's trading in $29 now from 47, 45, even 40 if you short the last time here, so it is the same setup again and again in all of them. GTI was the same yesterday, I think it was. There you go. Oh, sorry, today pre-market, the same. You don't short this front side, but you can short here, short, adding into the short, and it's gonna get destroyed. So the same setup, most of the tickers today are not for long bias traders in small cap as you are.
I definitely agree with that. That's been my feeling immediately from the get-go. Within about 20 minutes, half an hour of trading, I felt that. But Luis, I gotta get your opinion on a name. It's not even the name, Luis. It's the pattern that I see. And I think I've brought up this pattern with you before. So this is a very consistent one that I'm noticing a lot in names that are strong on the day. Big breakout on SOBR, okay? But what we get is, typically sometimes they're started with a topping tail candle, sometimes they're not. But what they all have, Luis, is prolonged downtrends, just like we had here on SOBR after made that 263 high. And what we see consistently with them is they have a very, very consistent area of support, which we saw here on SOBR in the mid to low 190s. And then it lured everybody in with this candle at 1155 on the 5-minute chart because it broke trend, broke prior area high, broke the 1030 high, which was around, I believe, 220. It lured everybody into 237. Then all hell broke loose to the downside. It was a bull trap. It caught everybody long, and look what it's doing now. Not only is it failing VWAP, it lost $2. It lost 175, and it looks like it could be headed to the low of day of 155. So my question to you, Luis, this specific pattern where we have a bull flag pattern, lower highs, same area, support, lures you in with the long, with the breakout, only to fail short. Is that a setup that you look for? Because I'm seeing it very consistently as a bull trap.
I don't know if it's a bull trap. It's trading it's true that it's trading above the VWAP, so there could be a lot of longs. But what is pretty sure is a short squeeze. So they are kicking out the shorts because, in this area, both are pretty comfortable. Longs, if you're long here, you're comfortable because you are maybe long in 190s, $2, $2.10. So you have a very, very tight stop. If it goes below VWAP, then you have troubles. Longs are not comfortable. But shorts here are also pretty comfortable because they have statistics in their side, it might likely, if you forecast and you measure this statistically, it might go down. We are trading, look at this also, against important resistance here, as you can see, okay? So we are shorting against a resistance from previous days and months, and also because if you're short here, your stop is very tight as well, okay? So both in this area, both longs and short, they don't have trouble with the positions, okay? So they have to kick out one of them, whatever. If they want the stock to go down, when I say they, let's say the market or market makers or big hands in the market, you know what I mean?
Right.
So if it's gonna go down, they have to kick out the short. They have to make it look ugly, the trade, before it goes down. And if it's gonna go up, it's what we call the VWAP reclaim. It's gonna go below the VWAP for a while without volume, and then shorts are in trouble. They might get out, and then it goes up. So sometimes the trades are not that nice as we saw in the one yesterday, but they have to look a little bit ugly before it goes pretty,
Understood.
Fantastic stuff. All right, Luis, a couple of things here. Now, IWM, I know we talk about quite often how there's no real correlation between some of these names with them moving, but the IWM is the best performing major average here today. We're down 2.7% off of the all-time highs. Now, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have the FOMC meeting. I mean, we're kind of in an area where I believe we can say that we're not going to see a rate hike here or a cut. Now, if there is a cut in the near future, or sorry, a hike in the near future, what does that mean for the selection pool? Do you typically see that really, really start to cool off? Because what I've seen as of late, some of these names, I know you like to fade them, but we're not getting those big time momentum moves like we've seen when the PDT rule was lifted. What do you think will happen to the selection pool if we do happen to get a rate hike in the future?
Well, I think it's more about cycles of long cycle and short cycle, more about the hike rates or the index in itself. So it's more about cycles. We are now in a very comfortable short cycle, so most of the shorts are working very nice. We see a long fades during the day. Then we might have one crazy runner one day, 500 or 1,000%, and then that will ignite the long bias, the long cycle. And it's also about sectors. Right now, we don't have like a clear hot sector in the small cap. It's all about the news every day. So I don't think that will affect a lot to the small caps, the high rates or the index itself, the Russell or whatever index you check when you trade the small caps. It's more about cycle. I think shorts are very comfortable for around a month now. I think for the last month we didn't have a crazy runner that ignite this long bias cycle. It's about to come. One of these outliers that change the market feeling. But so far, I would say if you don't short front side, you are pretty safe in this market.
Yeah, fantastic answer. So I like that you talked about the cyclical nature of these small caps. We've seen what happened not too long ago with the PDT rule, and it looked like it was just an extreme amount of fuel being added into some of these small cap names. Things are starting to cool down. I know you guys collect a lot of data. Is there like a time frame or a period where maybe, I know the shorts are being favored right now, we're not getting those 1,000% moves. Is there a time period or a time frame in where you see buyers start to step in and maybe the PDT rule can help ignite some of these names to where we're seeing 4 digits in a single session? Is there any specific time frame there?
Well, look, when the PDT rule was removed, it looked like it was going to be like that, and I already said in the show, it's going to take few days. They like using these chains to, mainly Chinese and Hong Kong companies to push them, but it lasts like few days because then you realize that they also have some shorting measure to avoid this. They change the overall, or I don't know how it's called, like the overnight interest for a short. It's very expensive now. They require a lot of guarantees to go short overnight. So it was not that, PDT rule is removed and everyone can go below $25,000. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So it didn't last a lot. We measure how many runners we have, let's say runners is when the stock goes up like parabolic and it doesn't allow you, let's say if you go short, you cannot get out, you get stuck in a position. And well, that was the PD2 rule, I think was here like 5 or 6 weeks ago. We have like 12 runners in a week. That was like, you see, a lot. And then we have to go back here for the same amount, like 12 runners in a week. But look, most of the weeks we don't have runners. We have like 1 runner, 4 runners, 5 runners. So only 1, 3, 4 stocks going parabolic without letting the shorts go out of the trade. And if you look at the percentage of the stocks that close red from the open, if we don't have a crazy week, look, it's a lot. It's like 100%, 70%. So we have a lot. This is like how it measures from the opening to the closing bell, the movement. Here we're checking the runners, but if you go to the gappers, which is what most of the times we trade, gapping up, and we'll see how they behave. Look, there you go. Like the average is like 63% closing red from the open, but we have some weeks around 80%, 80%, 80%. And this is what is the most important. If we have a crazy runner, we have this kind of day. Pre-market is going up, the market opens, and they keep going during the day up. This is not, the most common. It's like from the open, it goes down. From the open, it goes down. Look at this. The last 3 weeks is going down, going down, going down. We have one runner last week that changed a little bit the behavior statistically, but most of the weeks you see from the opening going down. So it is very important to identify what kind of cycle are you. If the long bias traders in a small cap are making a lot of money because there are some crazy runners, or just the short side is working pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, I see that you're identifying. Do you think you can you pull it up one more time and identify where we are at exactly currently within that cycle that you have going on?
We can check like daily, okay, and then we can check like the last days. And look, this is the amount of gapping up every day. So we have like 8 gap up. Well, I have some filters, of course. It has to gap up over 20%. Let's say here like 0.5 at least, 20% gapping up with a volume of 200,000 at least, and pre-market volume 50,000, okay? And then you search, and it tells you how many gap up we have every day, and the percentage of closing red. Like today, we only have 78. Oh, this is monthly, sorry, daily. There you go. Today we have like 8 gap up, 10, so we don't have a lot of gapping up for the last this week, let's say, and the week before. Look, we have so many here. And look at this, the percentage closing red. Today is 100%. All of the gap up over 20%, they are closing red. And we have here like 50%, 70%, 70%, 75, 80, 83%. So we are in a short cycle. Look how it's working. It's working very good. From the open, it goes down like 25% at least from the open on average, of course. So that's the kind of week, last 3 or 4 weeks, let's say, that the shorts are pretty much comfortable. So if it changes, you have to be very quick. Usually the first one, you take the loss. It's a crazy runner, you think it's gonna work, you have to stop out, you have to stop out again. But once you see like one crazy runner, like moving out like 500% or 1,000%, for at least 2 or 3 or 4 days later, just relax, size down, wait for confirmations, don't short front side because there is this sympathy place, once it goes up. Sometimes it's just one that goes up, sometimes it's a hot market of a new, if it's like AI news is in play or mergers or NVIDIA agreements, you try to find the same quotes, the same words in the news, and they try to look for these sympathies.
Great information, Luis. Thank you so much. I got to pass on some messages from our viewers directly towards you, Luis. So Kilgo Trout 001 says, please tell Luis his data is sick. His beer is suavemente.
Oh.
And the U.S. loves Spain. Lo siento para trompito. Did I get that right?
Sorry
yeah,
for something.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak.
Trump. I know U.S. people love Spain.
Sorry, does he mean sorry for Donald Trump? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I know.
I love it. All right, man. And then one more for you, Luis, before we let you go. Chris Pondit, 2294, says, Sharif Joe, ask him if locates got way more expensive after they repealed the PDT. What's your opinion on that, Luis?
It haven't been right away more expensive, but it's getting more and more expensive. It is true. We are missing some setups because when you measure how much it costs the locates, the probability that it goes down and the range, the volatility, you have to just dismiss some trades because it's not worth it. So yes, it's been more and more expensive. I don't know if it's the PDT rule or it's because in this short market cycle in the small caps, the brokers they're not stupid. Shorts are working.
Exactly.
So they want part of the cake, you know. So you are making a lot of money shorting. Well, I'm gonna push higher the locates because you're making money, and also because the more people trade short side, the most money is made. The locates is just demand and offer. So more traders asking for locates, the price go high. So yes, it might get to the point that the strategy it start to get more and more tricky, and you have to be more selective. So no short everything that goes up and fail, but pick up just a few trades every day where the locates are worth and the probability and the range is worth it as well. Let's hope we don't get to that point. We have some systematic traders, some algorithms traders that are already stopped the machine because the locates are so expensive that they cannot spend so much money buying everything that gap up. So it is difficult, yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, Luis, for coming on.
As always, bro.
Obviously, big victory for you guys yesterday. Off to New York you go. And yes, there's going to be a very, very good final, no matter what, whether it's England, whether it's Argentina, you got the European connection, or you got the Spanish connection, whatever it is, it's going to be a hell of a final. I can't wait for it. Luis Barbado, thank you for coming on, brother, and big win for you yesterday, and we'll speak to you again, hopefully, soon. Very soon. Good luck.
We might be champions next time we speak.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's on the 19th. I was about to say we'll speak again before the final, but I know that's not going to be the case. So.
Yeah.
All right. Great to see you, Luis. Thank you for coming on.
See you, brother.
Keep an eye here, guys, on NVIDIA, seeing some reports from Nikkei about NVIDIA potentially here working on a AI-powered robot-equipped shipyard in Japan with Kawasaki. So again, Nikkei reporting that NVIDIA and Kawasaki Heavy are building an AI-powered robot-equipped shipyard in Japan. Over to Sia to start the new segment.
Thank you so much, Adara. So let's take a look by starting at Morgan Stanley MS. So earnings per share at $3.46 versus $2.94. That was the LSEG estimate. And revenue at $21.35 billion versus $19.64 billion that was estimated. The company has said profit has jumped 58% from a year earlier to $5.58 billion, and revenue has climbed 27% to $21.35 billion. Now, equities trading revenue at MS has also hit a record of $6.39 billion, which is roughly $1.9 billion more than what the analysts had surveyed by street account. Now, fixed income trading has also climbed 13% to $2.46 billion, essentially matching the consensus estimate on good results in credit trading. Now, investment banking revenue has also surged 58% to $2.44 billion, which is about $270 million more than what analysts had expected on additional completed mergers, initial public offerings, and related equities deals, also rising debt insurance. So revenue for the wealth management division finally has climbed 14% to $8.86 billion, which is about $146 million more than what was expected. Morgan Stanley is currently trading flat, however, on the day.
69% increase in equities trading, but it was very one-sided. Record equities trading revenue, 69% year over year to 6.3 billion, but that effectively carried the entire bank's trading apparatus. Because when you look at fixed income, their FICC division grew at 12.6%. So very different there. There was also a lot of weakness possibly here in their others division. What am I talking about? I'm talking about $152 million loss in an area that they had a $202 million positive print on last year. And apparently this was all driven by what they're calling mark to market, which means current price, not realized losses, but current price losses for their credit loss and hedging costs on corporate loans. So what people are saying this is signaling is possible distress in the institutional credit portfolios kind of beneath that headline beat. So we need to keep an eye out on that. And their compensation costs absolutely ballooned to over $1 billion, apparently. That is an increase year over year of about $10 million. Compensation creep apparently increased because their baseline fixed cost structure had to move up here. So we'll have to wait and see how they do. But how is MS on the day? I didn't even look at Morgan after the earnings report. We're up 0.5%. You know, really kind of consolidative, did nothing, sold off a little bit there to start the morning. But we're right back into that kind of midpoint area. That's Morgan Stanley. I just want to point out a couple of things because Joey missed this one, so we're going to skip Joey on this one. But I want to mention there are a couple of names moving that you need to be alive to right now. CNEY, ripping up here. Shout out to TT Mass. He pointed this one out. I want to point this one out to everybody as well, that this moved in the aftermarket right at 4 o'clock yesterday. It had a huge price spike up. Looks like it closed out at about 75 pennies. Popped up into 99. Here it is again, right back at that 99 area and finding resistance right at that 99 area. And then one last one. This is one that we've had eyes on all day. Bovin calling it out. Bovin's back in the chat here. I guess he's back from work. Shout out to my man. This one is ranging here, Bovin, between 10.25 and 11 generally. So JLHL above VWAP and most notably here, holding above VWAP now since basically 105. So half an hour of defending. On the volume weighted average price on JLH. Did you want to comment about Morgan?
Did you talk about the trading revenue?
I did.
Okay, you brought that up.
The big difference there.
Did you bring up the assets under management? By
I did not.
Okay.
Talk about it.
$10 trillion. These guys. I mean, that's bigger. That's double than what we've seen some of the other names yesterday. So I mean, double-digit growth, high double-digit growth across the board. 27% revenue year over year is absolutely insane. So once again, the bank's continuing to dominate. And that's what it's going to be as long as this capital expenditure. You're seeing the PDT rule being lifted, and it's most definitely. And then all the underwriting with some of these big-time IPOs. Wait until Anthropic comes to market. I think you're going to see for the next couple of quarters this big-time growth within some of these banks.
All right, let's send it back to Sia.
Let's talk ASML. So net sales have come in at 9.3 billion euros versus 8.8 billion euros that was expected, and net profit currently stands at 2.9 billion euros versus 2.6 billion euros that was expected. So the stock overall has surged 115% this year. The company is now expecting a full year sales to come in between 43 billion euros, that is $49 billion amounting to, and 45 billion euros, and a gross margin between 54 to 56%. It had previously predicted annual net sales of between $36 billion and 40 billion euros, and a gross margin between 51 to 53%. ASML has also said that it continues to expect China to make up around 20% of its total net sales for the year. Now, China's contribution sales have dropped from 19% this quarter to 14% in the second quarter. South Korea has also continued to be its largest market that contributes 43% to its sales in the second quarter. We have ASML also trading flat on the day at the moment.
Okay, so to me, the big thing here was not that they beat aggressively on the top and bottom line, not that they raised full year, but that they're actually looking at producing more, okay? 30% more for their DUV and their low NA EUV machines, deep ultraviolet lithography, extreme ultraviolet lithography. And that's for 2026. But what really, really captured my attention was the fact that they're considering increasing another 30% up to 2028. That's how much demand, apparently, that there is for these ASML machines. And more pleased, obviously, I could not be. Now, does that, make it all sunshine and rainbows? No, because how are they going to produce that extra 30%? You're going to have to drop some cash money, baby. Capital expenditures to increase production capacity. So that always comes with a little bit of risk. And when the market sees perhaps that your margins are not all what they were made to be because you had to increase CapEx, sometimes you're made to pay, at least in the short to intermediate term. Of course, long term, if it pans out that you sell those, the market will reward you. Now, Joey, did you see some of these gross margins?
No, I didn't.
They're not NVIDIA-esque.
But they're pretty good.
But they're pretty damn good for a physical product in the high 60s, my guy.
Wow, that's really good.
High 60s here.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Cha-ching is right.
There you go. And what's your take on
that? Was that a send off to me? All right,
yeah,
cool.
I'm
No, obviously joining. No, to add to Sia's point here, there's a couple of things in regards to China. It's not the amount that they contribute, and I think the next question lying here for ASML is what's going to go on from a regulatory standpoint, and are they going to continue to purchase the DUV systems, right? The deep ultraviolet lithography systems, even though I'm pronouncing that wrong. But regardless of what's going on, it's the regulatory change that can happen in the near future, which can hinder this name. But we've seen how NVDA has been reacting and how it's been performing with realizing zero China sales up until apparently a couple of these H200s have been shipped over there. That's the same question that's kind of looming under ASML right now, is how long are we going to stay in the same climate where they'll have the ability to realize 20% of their revenue from China as things can structurally change in the near future. So we'll see what happens, but things aren't bad. We'll take it for what it is. ASML has been on a big time run as well. Let's go back to Sia.
Let's take a look at here. BLK, BlackRock, so quarterly earnings have come in at 13.91 per share. That's beating the Zacks consensus estimate of $12.67 per share. So this compares to earnings of $12.05 per share a year ago. And these figures are adjusted for non-recurring items only. So this quarterly report represents an earnings surprise of around 9.80%, very close to it. Over the last 4 quarters, BLK has also surpassed consensus at EPS estimates 4 times. We also have the investment management industry that has posted revenues of $7.08 billion for the quarter that's ended June 2026, surpassing the Zacks consensus estimate by around 3.75%. Now, a year ago, the revenues had come in roughly at $5.42 billion. So the company, I would say, has topped the revenue estimates 4 times over the last 4 quarters. So BlackRock shares have almost lost about 4.2% since the beginning of the year versus the S&P 500's gain of 10.2%. And BlackRock, however, currently is up 6.5%.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. We're talking about complete, this is almost practice for these guys. We're talking about complete assets under management. $15 trillion. That's
insane.
That's an insane amount of. What's US GDP like? Isn't it somewhere?
It's like 30 trillion.
Okay, so we're talking about trillion, almost half at that point. These guys are controlling. Obviously, globally, I believe it is there, Sharif.
Yes,
but a couple of things. BlackRock took in $192 billion in new client money. Management by more than $1 trillion in 3 months, ending in June, boosted its assets by $1 trillion. In a couple of months. This is insane stuff by BlackRock, and these numbers are going to continue to grow. Also, with them releasing the most successful ETF launch of all time, as well too, Sharif, with the IBIT.
I'm just going to throw this your way, right?
Yeah,
I'm going to throw this your way. You worried at all about private credit, private equity? I know they're not the same
private
thing.
Credit?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I told you my spiel on private credit.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because we kind of went through that.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried. They say that. Again, the piece, I think I sent it to you, the Bloomberg piece that you should watch it. Don't be as afraid as apparently as some people are making.
Well, it's always dark when the headline comes in. Did you see the quarterly inflows?
From
how
these guys?
much money came in to BlackRock on the quarter?
Dude, I don't
$192 billion in new quarterly inflows into this company. That's huge, man.
How do you have $1 trillion in new assets in 3 months?
Yeah.
Like, where?
What do you want? I have nothing to say.
Yeah, where is this coming from?
Let's talk a lot about their, what is this? Despite the retail ETF boom, apparently investors quietly abandoned traditional index strategies because BlackRock's non-ETF index strategies suffered at $32.1 billion net outflows during the quarter. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Apparently that signals a structural shift in the passive investing towards, I guess, cheaper, more tax advantageous exchange traded like products, I guess, ETPs. I don't know. I thought that this was a pretty good report. What is it doing though? Well, it's up. It's up nicely, 6.5%, man. You know what's interesting? It's a $177.8 billion market cap.
Yeah,
they had more money come in the quarter than their entire market cap.
That's why I don't understand.
Well, I guess they don't have anything direct correlated, but I guess that is just interesting observation. Just before we send it back to Sia, ELVA is breaking out, okay? It just took out 1190, and it could be seeing 12 pretty soon. So the stair step up of higher lows and higher highs continues to manifest here on ELVA. Above the volume weighted average price, pretty close to that $12 resistance. Be on the lookout here. And it just dropped from an 1192 into 1160. So this thing, 1150. It's just unreal, the trading today on small caps. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. We'll report back to you. But for now, let's send it back to Sia.
J&J is down very close to 2.5%, not very close to 2.5% on the day. So this surpassed $100 billion in annual revenue for the first time in a 140-year history of the company. So the performance had primarily been driven by the company's innovative medicine as well as its medtech segments. Now, adjusted EPS is $2.90 per share, topping expected of $2.85 per share. Total sales are at $25.31 billion, up 6.6% year over year, beating estimates of $25.05 billion that was expected. Innovative medicines have also generated $16.38 billion in sales, driven by the strong growth in immunology drug Tremfya, that's up 72.5% to $2 billion, and Darzalex. Now, medtech sales have also reached $8.93 billion. This is trailing slightly behind certain general analyst projections that were made for the segment. Full year sales, however, raised to a midpoint of about $101.1 billion, and full year EPS has increased to an adjusted midpoint of $11.68 per share.
Okay, so Stelara, it's generic now, right? So that was their biggest mover, right? That was like that legacy blockbuster drug that they brought in a whole lot of revenue on. Well, it's a top-selling drug. I get that for immunology, but 760 basis point operational drag on the segment as a result now because sales are dwindling as a result of being there being other generic versions of it. So that's number one. And then everybody was, pounding the table. They got $21 billion in cash. All right, but they also have $49 billion in debt. So that leaves $28 billion in the hole, Katina, man. So that's a tight lid on its ability to be able to execute, big M&A transactions should they want to acquire anybody to add to their portfolio. So just think about that. $21 billion in cash, $49 billion in debt. So that's something to think about there, Joey. I know their medtech division was also quite interesting, 6.8% operational jump. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. I was going to build on both yours and Sia's points. Sales in medtech here, 7.8% to the top side, to total $16.3 billion. Now, what's really interesting, cancer drug sales climbed 17% to $7.41 billion, or 16.1% on an operational basis.
That's big.
Immunology sales fell, though, 3.7%. But I think what's really important here is
that's that one that I was saying. Yeah, the Stelara one. That's exactly why.
So it dropped. So so guidance, which I think is really important. This is a big-time increase here, Sharif. The company raised outlook in quarterly sales above $25 billion and keeping it on track to exceed $100 billion in annual revenue for the first time in its 140-year history. So there it is for J&J. How's it been performing as of late?
You know what, man? You know who was printing on this last week?
Tina Man, no?
Well, maybe. I have no idea. But you know who?
You?
KC 520-6.
Oh, yeah. But
She's
she
been
never
involved
really...
in that
Okay.
monster.
Yeah, I mean, it's been
that's
on...
a daily, right? Throw that on.
Yeah,
There,
let's
show
pull it
the
up
people
here,
the
man. We
daily,
don't want
man, 'cause
to...
that's pretty
Casey,
good.
we gotta get a hold of this Casey girl and see what's
man.
going on. Where's she?
Got
She's
too
from
much money.
She's in the Sunshine State, right?
No, man. She's a New York City girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's from the city, my
Empire
boy, the
State.
Big
All right,
Apple.
that makes sense. But anyways, aside
She
from
likes
that...
the data centers.
She likes the data centers.
Just like Governor Hochul.
Just like, yeah. So
Shout out to Kathy.
21% to the top side on this name, but starting to have a little bit of a pullback here. But hey, I think it's a good dip by opportunity, especially with the big time increase in guidance. The record annual revenue for the first time in its 140 year history. I think that's a good time and a good sign to buy this name at a potential discount, which we're currently trading at approximately 7.5% to the downside off of the all-time highs.
Yeah, but okay, put that back. Is that not a beautiful level, or that's not a beautiful level?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I like that.
To dabble in at
that
least.
250-ish level, Joey, that's pretty,
Yeah.
To dabble in, exactly.
Yeah, dabble
You
in
put
over there.
230 stop, 240 stop, whatever it is, right? Let's send back to Sia and talk about a big story this morning, guys, because this one was all sorts of gapping.
PYPL surging past 16% at the moment. We're talking about Stripe and Advent International that have made a joint offer to buy PayPal in a deal that was valued at $53.4 billion. Now, shares of PayPal had soared 14% on this particular announcement. Currently, they're up over 16.2%. Now, the companies have made a $60.50 per cash offer for the payments firm. According to people familiar with the deal, they have asked not to be named. The deal is private. People have said that Stripe, Advent, and Block are contributing $17 billion for this offer alone, and that PayPal's board will meet to discuss all of this as soon as the 20th of July to discuss this offer. So the offer had been submitted earlier this month, and that offer includes roughly $50 billion in committed bank financing, valuing PayPal at a 28% premium to its closing share price as of yesterday. This is reports coming from Reuters. And PayPal has not responded to the offer of the firms, but they're hoping to progress discussions in the coming weeks. July 20th is the said date, apparently coming from sources, but no comments have been made or received from either of the companies about this.
Yeah, $53 billion, right? Where are they going to get the money? Well, believe it or not, $50 billion of that $53 billion is going to be bank loans, right? So the new entity, whatever it is, whatever form it's going to be, is going to be saddled with debt, man. $50 billion, they're going to be on the hook to repay. So that's just, you gotta look immediately to the source of the acquisition. Where are they getting the money, right? What kind of interest rate are they going to be paying? Who are they getting it from? What kind of terms are they getting it at? So that's first and foremost. Now, that $53 billion, Joseph Options, implies a $60.50 per share buyout price. And according to yesterday's close, that would represent a premium of 28%. Let's talk buyouts here, right? Because the premium, probably one of the most important, variables in the buyout game. 28%. Fantastic. But what does that imply? Like, historically, what is the market cap here? 53 billion, we know that's what they're valuing it at, relative to historic market cap levels. Well, just go back and look at the chart. Tell me what the PayPal chart looks like. $360 billion this company was worth during the pandemic. That would be an 84% collapse from 360 to 53 if it goes through. So nobody knows, of course, but analysts are of the opinion that the institutional shareholders who have been bag holding, to be honest, this for a long time, as well as the board, are not going to approve this type of merger. They're going to want to start a bidding war so they can boost up the price a little bit. So that's one thing to think about there. Is it breaking, or can I finish this? Okay, let's go to Adair.
I just want to let you guys know here, I'll be quick. Trump reportedly saying, according to Fox News, that strikes against Iran will expand next week. I repeat, President Trump reportedly saying that strikes against Iran will expand next week. That's it.
There. Let's go on, though, and talk about how they may operate the company. Because Stripe, obviously, DeFi, FinTech, whatever you want to call them, and then Advent, they're basically, they're just your run-of-the-mill sort of private equity, okay? They're not going to actually split up the company, even though the different segments don't really fit both of their modes. They're going to keep the company as it is, and there's going to be co-ownership. How the hell that's going to work out in real life, your guess is as good as mine. Let's get some more details on that. But Endless not very happy about that current ownership structure. And then last but not least, I mentioned this in the morning, CEO Enrique Lores, man, how long has he been at the helm for? I don't even think that long. He has a restructuring plan here that he's been pounding the table on, and he wants to save $1.5 billion for PayPal so that he can fundamentally change the margins. Well, he may not get his opportunity to do that. If this goes through, oftentimes what we see with buyouts is a change in management. I have to interrupt. There goes ELVA ramping into 1230. Look at this. It just popped up from 1230 back down to 12. This one has had a short on its a short target on its head the entire day. Did you guys see that move? Up into 1230, 1227 or whatever it is, and right back down below 12. But it has taken out that $12 level for the first time, and I'd say since very early on. The pre-market was that? Right at 9:30 or so, 9:25. So right around the pre-market, ELVA should be in focus. Joseph, what do you make of this PayPal?
Yeah, no, I think it's very interesting. And with that being said, I think it leads into more questions to be asked. Now, into the deal specifically, I like that merger, right? I personally want to see these fintech names condensed. Now that's what I'm talking about is potential more mergers within the space. So what we can have is a MasterCard and a coin bank, BFNB. That's a potential merger there. There's another one between Fidelity and Stripe, obviously with PayPal. So we see all these fintech names start to be condensed. It's something that I like. I don't see any issue with it. Obviously, the regulators will have to approve this merger, but I think the deal does get done, and I don't see why PayPal wouldn't accept the offer as well.
I'm pumped about this next story because I've been wanting to talk a little bit about the NVIDIA Commerce Department, Chinese regulator. H200, H20 timeline.
You're ready for this.
I was ready last week, but we didn't do it. We're going to do it now. Let's send it back to you.
So Adara, now if you do know this, we were talking, and I know you wanted to chime in on this.
NVIDIA
had gained after U.S. officials had confirmed that the company has resumed limited shipments of its H20 AI chips. You're hearing a lot about these chips, and particularly NVIDIA as well, to China under a case-by-case licensing process that is marking a modest easing of export restrictions here. So now reports have indicated that roughly 10 Chinese technology names and companies that have received approval to purchase AI hardware, including major firms like Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance, although the export volumes have remained super minimal here. Now, separately, KeyBank has also re-rated its overweight rating and raised its price target to $330. That is citing a strong long-term AI, this is said by them, demand despite minor supply chain challenges that is related to next-generation Blackwell production. NVIDIA is down almost 1% right now. Adara, what do you have to say about this one?
Yeah, I want to quickly mention here Uber, and then we'll get into NVIDIA. Uber apparently nearing a 12.5 billion euro deal to acquire Delivery Hero. They're expected to announce this as early as Thursday. We've been hearing about this for a while, which is why the stock's not really moving on it. But back to NVIDIA. I want to focus on a very narrow aspect of this. There's an individual by the name of Jeffrey Kessler. He is the Undersecretary of Commerce for Industry and Security, and he testified at a hearing yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch this hearing yet, though you know me, I'll probably watch it after work. But apparently, he was asked here about these NVIDIA H200 chips being sent to China and Hong Kong. Again, this was yesterday, and he said, and I quote, "The bottom line is very few shipments against licenses for H200s and equivalents have taken place. It's a very small quantity of chips." So again, they have started, but apparently to a very, very limited degree. CNBC apparently asked NVIDIA to comment on this report, and they declined to do so. So it wasn't they didn't respond, they declined to comment. So interesting look. I mean, I guess that the takeaway, the way CNBC put this is we could get more China revenue for NVDA, probably the best takeaway to get here. But I find it's interesting as well here, just apparently a very small quantity of chips. And it also makes sense that you get a little bit of de-emphasizing of this from, again, the Undersecretary of Commerce, specifically in that industry and security space, because we know Congress is not necessarily enthused about this whole sending chips to China, right? So I fully get if you're in front of a committee, maybe you want to downplay it a bit. Maybe this is a bigger deal than it actually is. We're going to have to wait and see. But I did want to mention that part of it because that was the big thing we heard yesterday. And you guys know I love these hearings, so I wanted to provide a little bit of that element of it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We do think that NVIDIA could get that potential profit from China, but it's been all so up in the air about chips, NVIDIA and China. But let's see what happens. Let's send it to the guys and see what they have to say.
Okay, so I think we probably should go through a little bit of a timeline here because things have gotten super convoluted. Let's start in early 2025. Who remembers when President Trump took power in January and then in April of 2025? What did he do? Revoked the H20 license, says you can't sell the H20 to China, and they basically became redundant. Then what happened? Remember July, August of that year? He backtracked. He met with Jensen. Jensen convinced him. All of a sudden, the Commerce Department re-grants the H20 license. Then China, feeling, kind of hard done by this little shaft here, September 2025, they deny the H20 imports into their country. Get that garbage out of here. We don't want no scaled down GPU. Sell us your good or I'm trying to chirp over here. Sell us your good stuff or get the hell out. So then what do we have? We have the pivot away from the the H20 entirely. And now all of a sudden we added a zero to that. Stop. And now we're talking about the H200. So that takes us to December of last year, January of this year. What happened? We got in December of 2025, the U.S. Commerce Department granted H200 approval. Then all of a sudden, a month later, we saw another headline come out from the Commerce Department. No. You can't just sell it to anybody. We're going to do this on a case-by-case basis. You tell us who the company is, we'll research them, we'll find out if they have ties to the People's Liberation Army or the Chinese military at large, and then we'll either give you the nod or the shake, right? Remember, we did that, and then what ended up happening? Then between that time, January of 26 to May of this year, the Chinese came out like, no. You hold on to your H200. We want to champion the local alternative, the Huawei Ascend. Who remembers that, right? And why did they do that? Because DeepSeek, ByteDance, Alibaba figured out a technical way to string together these Huawei Ascends to achieve essentially what they could achieve with less H200s. So the Chinese regulator was like, no, we're not buying from the American companies. Buy the Huawei Ascend. You can do the same thing. Baba proved it. Tencent proved it. ByteDance proved it. Go out and do it. So then what ended up happening? Then all of a sudden you had kind of this restricted compromise, so to speak, where China finally in July of this year grants license to actually be able to import the H200, but very few, as Adair astutely pointed out, very few have found their way there. So the point I'm trying to make is here that the U.S. Commerce Department, at worst, all they did was say on a case-by-case basis, but they didn't prohibit the general export of the H200 to China. It has been the Chinese regulator who has put their foot down and said, we don't want these chips in our country, especially because we want to champion a local alternative, and you're able to do as well with that local alternative, albeit with more chips. So that's the point that I was trying to make there.
Yeah, but
I never wanted to say that the Chinese were, the Americans were super gung-ho and all right to sell this from the beginning. But there was so many developments in the saga that I think we lost track a little bit. And that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, and the same thing with me. Just your ending point there was just the fact that look at the back and forth between both of the countries on what's going on here. It was literally a tennis match of, okay, yeah, all right, we'll go back. U.S. Commerce stating, all right, you can get them by a case-by-case scenario. You have the major corporations in China getting the license approval to the point where the regulators say, no, all right, no, we don't want this BS. We want the GBs. That's it. We don't want that.
You want the truth? I don't even think they want the GB, bro. The regulator, not the. Of course, the Chinese companies want it, brother. I wouldn't argue that.
But the regulator.
The regulator doesn't want American dominance in AI. Think about that. You're the Chinese regulator, right?
What does that
You're going to do everything you can to make their life hard.
Absolutely. I agree with you. 100%.
I know. That's my little gateway there. By the way, one thing that I glossed over, Beijing did cap it at 200,000 units max, but that was after the 750,000 they had previously agreed to. That was dwindled down substantially by 550,000 units. I mean, that's not a small amount here, right? So this is the
So what's the current that they're shipping right now?
We don't know, Joey, because NVIDIA, as Adair said,
amounts.
NVIDIA did not comment on the report.
But Jensen was prepared, yeah, and he was producing to ship X amount over to China. At
My
some
boy,
point as
he
well,
had
too.
H20s that he's got to ship that are collecting dust. I don't even know what he's doing with them.
Yeah, but he's trying
All
to get
those
them.
H20s didn't leave the country.
He's trying to send some of them over there now, at least.
Well, I'll tell you what your boys over there are trying to send. Katina Man is trying to send SpaceX and Intel to hell and Palantir the other way into the blue sky. So the boys are back. Katina Man, Neil, they're locked